gonna move. Rob, can you just move the chair like sort of out of vision shot? So when he gets here,
It's kind of funny if there's an empty
no,
chair being waited
like
to fill.
if when he comes in, when he comes in, we don't want him to see that chair.
Oh.
We want his ass to think that he
Roger
he
that.
lost his chair privilege.
Yeah, I understand.
He did.
Yeah.
And so, I'm tilted.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little louder so you can all hear.
I wish I knew his address so I could see the route that he took to get to King Taco. Like, I want to see how much he
Put him on
detoured.
5 friends.
Yeah.
No, we want to watch
Share,
you.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, homie, could you share your location real quick?
Hey, I just don't think that King Taco was the fastest place for you to get food on the way.
Okay. So
I got 5 stars.
hide the chair.
Are we also live right now?
Yeah, we're
I'm-
live.
We're live?
It's all right.
Are we live? Robert.
Okay.
Rob, come on.
Robert,
No,
man.
this is
Sorry,
good.
You know that's right, baby.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
I like that. I like that.
All right. So yeah, this is
Should we-
out of control.
Are we going to talk about
Guys,
This is
we're gonna-
pandemonium.
We're gonna go to a very special new intro video, and then we'll start the podcast.
that? Without you.
Roll the clip, Rob.
Let her rip and silence us as well.
Please mute us.
What's up? Welcome to the Bad Melee Podcast. You might be asking yourself, you might be wondering,
You might think.
I thought there were going to be a guest.
We thought so too.
We did too. See, the thing is, sometimes you tell someone to be at a place at a certain time, and then they end up saying they're going to be late. And then they say they're going to be even more late
Because they need to go get food.
because they needed to go get food,
But
which wasn't a thing that was thought about, apparently.
Yeah, because
I feel
before
like we could have bought him food. I would have done that.
No, but you see, before he goes and gets food, he has to look up Yelp reviews.
He had to look up somewhere,
And,
obviously.
you know, to
that
be-
was up to par.
To be fair, the IE is kind of it's a bit scarce out here for the 5 stars.
I guess, sure.
You know what, though? I'm gonna ask him what's up with bougie smashers. I don't know if I can trust a smasher who doesn't fuck with Subway.
I mean, you gotta, right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you too good for that shit?
Exactly.
And so guys, we're just like you, waiting for someone who said he was gonna be at a certain time, and just isn't.
You know when you get that first message, hey man, I might be a little late, and you start thinking, that's okay, that's gonna be fine. You know, luckily I said 7. We're gonna start at 7:30, so there's a bit of factored in leeway. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I already planned for that.
We were gonna start at 7:30, and Miles said hit him with the 7 o'clock.
Big play, big brain play.
Imagine if we did start at 7.
Imagine if I mained Samus. With plays like that, I'd be top 20.
Yeah, right.
Like just a little bit of
I
foresight.
feel like how are you gonna win? Let's say Hugo isn't allowed to be late to things. It's like a pool,
That's just a bad matchup for him.
a tournament.
Yeah, he
You
typically
know?
shows up maybe an hour late.
Are we a joke?
and then he plays Samus, so it
Yeah.
it just takes like forever to get through bracket.
So
anyways.
I'm just wondering where do you stop? Where do you stop and say I will show up on time?
Where do you have the mindfulness and self-awareness to just be like, hey, I made an arrangement.
I'm gonna follow through with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear about traffic.
Right, because
We all know.
we all live here.
I know.
We've
but
been in there. We've been in traffic in
Yeah.
SouthernCalifornia.com. It's a thing. And
Gamers kind of want to pretend like it doesn't exist. The traffic.
you know what else is like that fucking color, that he plays? Like, you know what?
Salmon?
Looks like shit.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
I think it's dumb as hell.
What else we got?
What do we do?
boys?
We had no topics. He
mean,
was the
well,
focal point
are
of the
we,
No,
uh,
we have
we can-
topics, but
I wish we
we're
could put a
just-
timer on the stream. If there was a way to do
I'll
that,
do
that'd
one
be amazing.
I'll do one right now. Look,
and it's just going to be lowbrow Hugo bits from here on out.
What's up?
Hugo's
What's up, Rob?
What kind of timer do you want?
we want a timer counting
how long it's been.
how long it's been since we started the stream.
So man is already 8 minutes late.
Sure.
Well, he's actually 38 minutes
Yeah,
late,
he's actually-
considering that he was supposed to be here at 7.
oh my god.
I'll get on it.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be
really
amazing.
funny. Anyway, so we have these cool swords.
I have the Japanese one.
This one is has a rune in it for extra
Can I gift it
sharpness,
to you, Dawson.
and that's pretty hype.
Oh, thank you.
Take your gift.
Hmm.
You're a samurai now.
You're fast. You have dexterity.
I do.
You don't knock that over.
I wouldn't knock it over.
That's your consumable for a short amount of extra dexterity.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it also-
30 minutes.
Also wires you out a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess we could talk about. I went to
I was going to say we just run lowbrow Hugo jokes.
lowbrow,
until he gets here.
low like kind of
Like-
how
Like
when he
under-
stands
under the
on his
belt.
feet.
like his height being
Yeah,
4'11".
Yeah. No, like he's doing a good job, dude. Like he had to escape from the old folks' home to get here. Like, and
Yeah, he did. He
you know
did have to
doesn't
climb the fence.
He doesn't eat those dinners.
I actually picked the Mass theme song specifically because I knew he could relate because he was in Nam.
Because of the time he spent in Nam.
Yeah.
And now, it's
He's just
got-
happy to be playing on color CRTs.
the thing is, when he hears like a big bang like on the ground, he just ducks.
That's
for
why he
cover.
plays
Yeah.
that whack color of Samus, because he just used to, it was a little habit to go why start on a black and white CRT, and he didn't actually know which color he was playing.
That's right.
And so now he just still does that.
Yeah, it's just sort of a habit. Also, we actually, the thing is, we did talk to his in-home nurse and kind of arranged this whole thing. So again, I feel like it's kind of rude
Yeah, yeah.
to win.
He might have just lost his way a little though. You know, the Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, I was buying a CRT so I could play Zelda and needed a 13-inch one so it could fit on the table with me and Slime's computer setups. And one person on letitgo.com or whatever it is, like where you can just sell random shit you have in your house,
Hmm.
I was DMing her and she was trying to talk up her CRT. She's like, it's color. Like, as trying to get more money out of me than like
Right,
20
right.
bucks. I'm already paying for a CRT. I'm already the one getting
She's like,
screwed.
oh, by the way, you
She's
can.
like, list of things it is, color. And I was like, yeah, dog, I haven't seen a black and white CRT in a long time. Like, that's not a thing. You know when someone's trying to sell you something and they're like, yeah, thin.
Yeah, right. They're just like, shit. I guess it's gray. Yeah, I don't know.
No, but it's not even, I don't know, like, as that's a thing that it is like extra. Like, that's an
Yeah,
add-on
yeah,
to
yeah.
the thing. It's like, no, that's just what that does. Tennis ball, like, really bouncy though.
Lego's wild. I love like old people that are like that sell stuff. Like, and they're very clearly just describe. Me and Rob were actually talking this earlier, but like people on Craigslist will be like, "Fucking my good for nothing kids knew they wouldn't touch the Wii U. You know, I'm drawing dust in it every day."
Yeah. They're
And
just really passive
They're like
aggressive.
$50, like, and just I don't want this anymore. Get out of my house.
And like, let it be known that they were the ones who made this price so low.
Yeah.
They're robbing me, and you're just getting a deal.
Yeah, and you just show up and you're like, thanks, I guess. And
The guy, all he wants is like $50 and 5 minutes of your time to tell you about these fucking dumb kids.
Craigslist is sick. I really need to go back to it.
Hey,
Amazon kind of took my Craigslist away.
Craigslist has the gamble factor, which is always hype.
Well, gambling on what?
The fact that the person you meet up might kill you.
That's hype for
Yeah.
one.
That's,
Um,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
saw a 64 cartridge, just like ZFG posted or something. It's snapped in half, but the chip's still in there, like just barely the chip that the actual game's on. And it's like play tested, working, and then it's like condition acceptable. You know, like there's like
Yeah.
eBay ads.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The sticker's ripped. The cartridge is literally yellow.
It's funny because like if you
Like,
just sort
it's-
by because you can't go to like very poor, can you?
Who's listing
Like yeah,
as
'cause
very
who's
poor?
who's like filing things by that and they're like, oh hell yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
But still, I've seen cartridges that are literally like, it has glue stains and like Jim's Super Smash 64 written across the front of the cartridge. It's like broken and yellow, and they're like, yeah, so you gotta flip it a couple of times, throw it around, put it in the console, pray to God, flip the switch, it's working.
Yeah, you gotta dip it in isopropyl alcohol, but other
And you know
than
he just
that-
clicks like acceptable at that point.
Yeah, well that's the lowest one I think. is the lowest tier on like Amazon or
Very
eBay.
poor.
No, it's acceptable.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe poor is one.
Poor condition.
No, it's like play
what if
tested.
someone's just like cornering the market on eBay with just like poor condition sales?
Yeah,
And has like a 99% like approval rating?
that'd be hot. Also, what if
He's like a trash trader.
He's
He's like a this
Sebulba.
RPG character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, this was shitty.
What if it's
Great.
like it's
He's
like
bartering for things and he just won't buy anything that's of a higher quality.
it's like excellent, good, average, acceptable, poor, very poor.
Apply yourself.
LOL. Apply yourself. Yeah. I'll tell you something about if we were to file our guest that was supposed to be showed up on an
Yeah.
eBay
I'd say
listing.
unacceptable. At this
I'd say
point.
unacceptable, and also if late is an option,
Yeah.
we might do that.
And also not working.
Right? Yeah.
You know what? He's like, I'm in a shill for Summit. This is Hugo's Summit campaign, guys.
Yeah. This is the
Here it is.
This is the candidate you want, I guess.
Here we are. Like, as literally asleep at the wheel. Oh, but don't worry. At Summit, he'll show up. That would make great content.
Yeah, I'm gonna just head to this food place that's 30 minutes away from where.
He said.
Hey, let's check the Yelp reviews of King Taco
no,
because I'm sure
there are
they're
two
fire.
King Tacos. I wonder if he was like, like which one?
Like which one is better?
There's
There's no way.
What's
he
the
did
better
that.
King Taco? And you know he'll come in here on some well you never know type of shit. You know what I mean?
He's gonna be defending it and backing it up.
He's
yeah.
probably eating the food there
I
too.
can't-
Like he doesn't bring it.
He's just sitting
like,
in there.
Hey, I just ordered my food, and he's just like eating. He needs
Oh.
the full experience.
He's watching the stream right
Yeah.
now. It's like
King Taco doesn't even have that.
just
good-
shrugging.
Just decides to leave. doesn't hit us back up.
That would honestly be a counterplay.
Yeah.
That's
Then,
it,
then we just do dumb
we just do
bits
2 hours
for
of
2 hours. Yeah.
low effort Hugo bits. Yeah.
Yeah. I could go all night too. Like, you know what I was saying in the car as well? I was
Yeah,
telling
we
these
know
guys,
what you were saying.
We were.
And
It was
I-
honestly maybe the dumbest thing you
It's
said
not the
before even this
dumbest
happened.
thing, dude. I was saying Hugo might be.
No, let me just
Let's
hear
preface
it
this.
from my mouth.
It is
Miles-
the dumbest thing.
Miles said Hugo may be the most persecuted smasher in all of history.
Who else has had it rougher?
Well, I mean,
But you know what? Now I get it. I'm on board. Every person who's ripping him on no grounds
I
on
don't
Twitter.
even know
Maybe
who's ripping him.
I feel like Hugo is just
We
the
are
butt of
now.
every joke, and now it's what he's.
I mean, he's the butt of the lowbrow shit that like ends up being like haha, right? Like old man stuff. But like, I mean, I gotta say, I'm coming around.
Yeah, now I'm starting to get
starting
into
to
it
think.
too. It's the season. But yeah, and you brought up the interesting point. Like, would you rather be berated or just kind of ignored? And I think I'd rather be ignored.
Yeah, obviously.
most people
I
would.
think yeah,
So-
unless you're really like weird.
Unless I think a lot
I mean,
of people just
to be
love a camera.
berated, has to come with like a benefit, right? I don't think being berated in and
Yeah.
of itself is a.
I think sometimes Ludwig riles us up so that we will berate him
I think he
instead of
re-
ignore him.
It's like he's playing with practice dummies, and he's just trying to get the boys to start like taking aim at him so he can like,
No,
block it with his lightsaber.
that one time when he's like, "What do you say to me, Ben?" And Ben just whispers to me, he's like, "Ignore him. He's gonna crack in about 25 seconds of not getting the attention right now." And then he comes up to Ben and starts pushing him. He's like, "What are you saying?" And Ben's just like, "See, dude, the way to get him up out of his chair was just say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Just go about our business, you know."
This sword has dragons on it.
Yeah.
That's
from-
good. It's
from the east.
Yeah, I can tell.
A little bit of profiling there. I don't know if I'm with that.
I'm just saying, like a dragon on a sword doesn't matter where you're from. That's a strong sword.
Whoever's making these, they're like Oriental, slap a dragon on.
Yeah, I know. That's
a little-
that's pretty rough. But it's like I guess in the Civil War they had swords too.
Yeah. Did they though?
Yeah, dude. Their guns sucked.
They're gonna have swords again when the South rises.
Well,
God.
apparently, right? Oh yeah, the South. That's a thing. Like they have their swords, and then they make
That's a
weird
thing?
videos and stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
They still got the swords to this day?
I mean, yeah. It's like they're
Sure,
vintage.
Yeah.
Oh.
The South is no longer an army, by the
No,
way.
no, I understand
We're
that.
not still at war.
Yeah, I don't know how deep your American history goes, but yeah, it's kind of got settled.
Okay, yep.
But
It's funny that got. I mean, it had to get settled, right? You
it
can't
kind of
just-
did, yeah.
You can't just kill half of your country and then leave it barren.
Yeah,
Like people are going to inhabit that land.
yeah. I mean, it's yours.
Inhabit, in fact, not
In-
even
in-
Yeah.
I mean, both
both,
maybe.
potentially.
You
yeah.
know, just look at Nashville.
When's this short fuck getting here, man?
He's
Oh, no.
tweeting about the food that he had.
No. Are you Oh no, you're making a meme.
I'm just not though. I looked over to Rob, and there it is.
No. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he's getting roasted.
Hold on.
You know what? We were gonna.
He's tweeting about King fucking Taco.
He's getting roasted for this entire show.
Why?
I'm not asking any real questions.
Are you
now.
kidding me?
I'm not asking any real questions. Is this if this is ironic that he's doing this to us? It's
Big
so
play.
funny.
It's a huge play. We have to. The thing is, when he comes in, we got to kind of just like gauge him. We can't
We can't go all in on
We
him.
got to let him sort of feel us out.
We don't need to say anything. It's
We
gonna
need to be
very
very
evident.
neutral and see where he's coming from. And if he starts apologizing that he's late, we're bringing out the fucking
Then he gets
boomstick.
No, it just comes back from a full show of roasting to like only half an hour or 45 minutes.
No.
Like he can bring it back to 45, the bare minimum. But if he doesn't apologize ASAP, it's literally only bits.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Wow. That's fucking crazy. By the way, let me just live tweet this one, or live read. Shoutouts to whoever for convincing my stubborn Mexican ass, his words, that King Taco is legit Mexican food. LOL. I love this place. Is he implying that he's in the fucking place?
I told you he's eating it. Probably he probably sat down and wanted the full experience, so he could tweet about it because.
All right, he's gonna say, "Why'd you guys start without me?" What do we say to that?
We say, a time is a time, my
Why-
man. Why,
because we start at a certain time.
Yeah, this is a show.
and that's what we do.
Yeah.
And if this is just memes for you, Mr. King Taco,
time that we shouldn't have waited.
You can just go.
I
home.
like that.
oh wow.
Hey, if you're watching this show right now live, I want you to just start posting some shit on that tweet. Just start getting wild. Post some shit that's gonna get responses, and not good responses, bad ones. I'm talking. Get your account banned, dog. I'm talking Rule 34. I'm talking unpopular opinions,
He's talking. Oh my God. You know what?
hot takes. This is
And
the
he's
time.
gonna be like, "Why
Just
am
start firing them off.
Why am I being pelted?"
Tell
with
him you'd
this?
rather eat shit.
I'm the
than
most
eat King Taco.
persecuted man in Smash again.
I'm doing the persecuting now. In the car, I was ready to play so nice.
You really were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asking serious questions only, and I was gonna say, you know what, Hugh? I hope you do get into Summit. Not fucking today.
There were two things that I think really set off Miles, and it's people complaining about UCF, and people
I don't actually mind that now that I've been playing on UCF more.
really.
But
God,
I mean, just
you're-
don't complain about the Mulu. Like, it's like being like, hey, we're playing on a golf course that I don't like. I'm playing on it too, dog. You know, we're both playing on the same shit game.
Yeah.
Like, if I just had UCF and you didn't, sure.
But you also just sat there for 30 minutes and just kept saying to Nieper, "Why?"
No, because
Why?
he's like, yeah,
Like a robot.
He's just like, oh, I'm like a casual player, but I won't play non-UCF. And I was like, the things that you're missing, you just need to practice more. That's why you're missing them.
But isn't one practice?
Yeah, but the things that it's not UCF's fault. That's what I'm saying. It's not a lack of that.
This is how the conversation went. It's just like that. for,
Yeah,
for a 30-minute
That's
loop.
a legitimate
I
answer.
could say fuck anything and it just gets Miles in a loop.
Yeah.
I was just like, what do you mean?
No, that's a legitimate answer.
Which is what started.
You guys are like, so explain yourself. I explain a logical
no,
point.
it's a
and then
legit-
you're like,
It's
the
no.
loop.
It's a legitimate answer, but you guys had the same conversation, that exact
Because he was
exchange,
trying to get me to change my mind.
15
He
times.
was trying to tell me that that's like that amount of cognitive dissonance is valid somehow.
That's true, and that was dumb. But then you tried to get him to change his mind.
No, it's just like that. You can't like 2 and 3 is 5. That's what it is. It's not 6. And he's like, but I really want it to be 6.
Yeah, but
And that triggers me. That gets me. I get baited by that.
I
Really
mean,
hard.
I literally just off the cuff and I was joking. I was like, man, fuck Hugo. And then he was
No,
like,
I'm on it.
Hugo is the most persecuted man in Smash. I can't believe everyone's out to get him. I can't believe you
no,
just said
I
that.
just said that he cops a lot of flack, but now I know why.
It's because maybe it just says one thing, does another.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He tweets. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, I'm a little late because I need a
Hey, we're
burrito, but I
going
swear
live
it'll be worth
soon.
it. I don't know if it will be worth it.
I think it's gonna be a
He
shit
needs
show.
a burrito.
Apparently, he determines when we go live.
Oh.
I didn't know that. That's the
Oh.
thing. I didn't
He-
know
he
he
runs our
determined
show.
when our show goes live.
Oh,
So
I
that
didn't
was.
know, I didn't know that. Hugo, like, do we just give him the Patreon money now as
I
well?
think we should.
I think
yeah,
he manages us
if
now.
he's the one that's saying, we start here. This is when to tune in. This is when to tune out, guys. I think that is what we should do is give him the Patreon money. Also, make him admin of the Discord. Sorry, guys. The food.
You know he's not showing up to that though.
The Discord.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a
Yeah.
long way.
It's a couple of clicks.
What?
Yeah, I feel naughty though. Like I've had 2 meals today and I didn't tell him about either of them.
It's true.
Like I probably should have checked in.
So he just kind of sat and
He sat in the restaurant.
he sat there, dude. And he was probably I assume he had a meal with a friend, and they just probably had a nice conversation.
Holy
And then
I
it's
would
so
hope
nice.
so.
It's so nice when you get to kind of just like eat with your friend.
Yeah.
And like
You
it's
know?
really relaxing.
It's
you
a
know?
place that you like kind of talked a
me-
lot of shit on
and,
before.
And you know, like talking to people in general, and like
Talking
having
nearby.
like a good conversation, maybe some discourse.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
really nice.
I think a
That's
lot of
cool.
people
I
actually
like
want to
that.
see that too.
Yeah,
and
I
just,
like Discord.
it's refreshing to hear
Discord
that.
discourse.
Yeah.
It's and I'm just happy that he was able to take that opportunity to be with someone he liked the company of
Yeah.
and eat food and just kind of it's like an age-old like beautiful tradition of humanity. You know, we sup.
He
And
said he
we
was. He said he
speak.
was ordering to go. So that's
Oh,
what he told me.
That's
in the
really
DMs.
interesting. If he was ordering to go, and
He
It's been
could
an
still.
extra like
He could
15
like
minutes.
honestly, it could have taken him 30 minutes to get here from that King Taco. Like legit, could have.
that could have.
If he walks through the door right now, I'd believe that. But I mean, as soon as this hits 8, I'm gonna say he ate in the restaurant.
I think that's a play.
I think it's hitting. He's not.
All
coming
right.
for
So how
another
about
20.
this? If it hits 8 o'clock, we give him all the Patreon money. You know,
You
I
don't
think
get to
that's
live
fair.
for a month.
I think that's fair. It
No,
hasn't.
I don't want to live anymore. So that fits me. That's got me sorted.
We're going live soon, guys.
Yeah, don't
Promise.
worry. We'll be
We'll be
live
go-
soon.
super
Hugo,
soon.
Hugo
Hey,
said
Hugo
that.
waiting room. Start posting that
Yeah.
in the chat. It's just a Hugo waiting room.
Hugo waiting room, guys. We'll be live.
Because
pretty
we're
soon.
sacks of shit, obviously, with nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't posted on these tweets yet, really get in there. Dignitas would love to see the things you guys have saved on your hard drives. Really,
Whatever's
I'm
in those-
encouraging you.
Whatever's in those deep folders. I mean, well, let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
All right. It's gonna be a fun time. Do tune in. Thank God no one's following your advice.
They're going straight to dig.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, tweet at. Don't do that. That's kind of fucked up.
You
This
should
is a Dignitas'
Literally, don't do anything.
This is not anybody's fault except one man
Yeah.
who decided that he
One man
decides-
who's
I'm
probably
sorry,
full of
it's-
burrito
it
right
is
now.
his choice when we decide to start, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
If
Keep
anything-
quiet. Shh.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
guys hasn't said we started yet.
Yeah,
Just
actually,
wait.
it might be our fault that we started early without
I
him.
think it is, and you know what? I'm willing to take that L. You know. So just waiting.
I wonder if he's gonna yell if he sees the note.
Oh, did it really say to yell? The note in the front.
Yeah, it was like you can come back to the back or just yell.
Okay,
And we'll
Okay.
Get you.
so you guys might hear that
I
too.
think if he messages me and says, "Hey, can you open the door?" I might just wait a hot 55 minutes to reply to that DM. That seems like that's a reasonable amount of time to wait.
I
is
think
what this
so.
guy's
I
telling
mean,
me.
yeah, that's what he's saying is through his actions.
We're gonna hit an hour.
I think so.
Full hour.
Yep.
That's crazy.
hmm
Integrity. What does that word mean to you guys?
It means, well, actually, I have no room to talk with this fucking mustache, but still,
I think it means you do what you say you will.
I think so. Integrity, always described to me by a school teacher, was doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And the odd thing is that people are looking, and he's still.
Are we not big enough to have someone turn up on time?
I don't think so. Apparently, I'm sorry. We aren't big enough.
Tell your
It's not
friends,
there.
guys, because I think there's a
It's not
magical
there.
number of clicks we can reach to have this never happen again. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, one day, you think he's showing up late when Dignitas says, "Hey, we were thinking about signing you." Do you think he comes an hour late to that meeting?
Probably
Yeah,
not,
I
no.
really need a burrito right now.
Do you think he comes an hour late if we're just handing out summit tickets?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just waving it like
Like
a
Willy
like a
Wonka?
like a flap of bologna in front of a dog, and just like,
Yeah.
here you go, bud.
He's just I don't know what he's about. He's about burritos. We know that much.
Of course. Yeah. Who isn't? Am I right? Hey,
Yeah.
brother,
He's
I'm
just
actually not a
being
huge fan
human,
of
dude.
Mexican food.
Yeah, you're on a weird tip with that.
you're on a weird tip.
It's all right.
It's 'cause you're from a different
It's
land.
just all right.
You're from Australia.
It's really salty, you know.
I don't taste that.
Me
I think
Really
that's
so-
my
high sodium.
American sort of face and brain.
And there's just not a lot of vegetables, you know.
Schmin has a ton of sodium in it.
Yeah, it does.
Why are you a fan of Schmin?
You
then?
love that?
It's a well-rounded burger for the price. It's great. Tastes good. I get to go there with my friends. It's a ritual that we do.
That's
fun.
true.
That is true.
The whole experience is good.
Well, look,
Start
have
to
you ever had a
finish.
tamale?
And I get to freestyle to the person in the window.
Yeah, you do often freestyle
yeah,
to
that
them.
is.
They usually catch a bar or two.
Yeah, and but it's usually like on the funniest boozles that because the key to a good window boozle is that they don't know what's happening.
It's also, I don't know. I think the most optimal window boozle is one they can laugh at too. At the end of the day.
I think the ultimate big brain window boozle is one that makes them feel confused, but they don't know why. They can't pinpoint. They're not really. They're not like, is he making fun of me? What's going on? They just do the order, and then afterwards they're like,
Yeah, but how do you even measure that? You
I
have
know.
to. You have to assume.
when you get it right, you know.
I guess.
It's that pause when they're like, and will that be all, sir? You get a certain frame on that.
Right, and that's the
Conversation
frame
right
you're
there.
looking for.
You know at that point that you've hit it. Then you can just let go of everything. You end up in Ganon's castle.
Miles just measures time by frames now.
Frames, and when he could pause on it.
Yeah.
And then how many flashes of black there are.
He was
in the bomb
cooking in the
too.
kitchen and he was just like trying to pause buffer and it
Yeah.
wasn't.
I just play Zelda now every day. I've joined the ranks of people who just do nothing but a repetitive task every day, and it's actually really cathartic and it's really nice. You just know what you're gonna do,
Yeah, I guess.
and it's like one really niche thing.
There is some structure there, at least.
I mean, I washed cars for days and days and days, and I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
this
I
is
knew
like,
what I was gonna do.
this
It's
is like
almost
rolling a
mind-numbing.
stone up a hill, and it's always coming back down. You know.
Yeah, the Sisyphus
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine him
deal.
But at least
happy.
you know you get a little further each time.
Well, Sisyphus didn't. It broke every time.
Yeah, mine have broken every time so far.
Man named Bongo Bongo just.
Hey, I killed Bongo.
He
today,
got-
and
he
then,
got-
then instantly fucked up the cutscene skip.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough.
That
Let's
was
ask
tough.
Hugo what he thinks about gaming, speedrunning.
Probably doesn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I think he might actually.
Gaming,
So-
speedrunning, and also the communities that
part
surrounds.
Of me,
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that he's just in this for the just to like live a lifestyle of based on a community, you know.
Yeah, I
And he
feel
might not actually game too much anymore.
right. And I get that vibe too because I mean this is a show. Hey, we like to mess around a lot, but it's a
We
lot
do,
about
yeah.
gaming.
It is, yeah.
Almost entirely.
It's
It's
about
specifically
gaming-
one game.
It's
actually.
about gaming more than it's about tacos.
It's in the title of what game we like to talk about, and it's in the title.
It's really hard to talk when you're not in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Yep. I mean, maybe you want to call in. No, I don't.
No, it's 8 o'clock. That's sick. Full hour.
You
Not
reckon he's
walking
just
through
in
the door.
He's in the car park just eating his burrito. But he's
I-
already eaten it. We know he's eaten
I
it
know
because
for
he
a fact-
tweeted it was good.
No, I know for a fact he sat down and then he texted you, thinking that you wouldn't see it. He's trying to boozle you.
He's trying to boozle me.
He publicly tweeted.
I can't believe
shout
that.
outs to whoever.
Jeez,
Whoever he was
dude.
with.
He said he took it to go, but where did he eat it? In the car? Like, why did
Did he lie right to your fucking face?
I'm gonna ask him. I really think he might
I
have
don't
lied.
think he's a gamer. I think
I
he's
just-
a liar.
I think
You're
this-
either one or the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
what's
mean-
up, liars?
Gamer lied, dude.
I know which one I'm picking.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to ask him. The information we've been given feels like he's lied.
I'm just checking out the old. Let's see. He
I'd hate
says-
for it to be one of these streams where we sit on social media, but yikes.
All right. All right.
This is what we get for not relying on the three people, the brotherhood, the triangle.
I was saying it.
The
We should just
friendship.
run 3.
The ones that got us here.
I knew this would happen. Rob coming.
He's
with a
coming into an absolute shark
bad news.
tank right
Bad
now.
news.
No news.
No news.
Dear Hughes, I want you to
Jeez, someone cue the pencil writing
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah, yeah. P.S. We should team together too. I'm your biggest fan. I want you to know I stuck up for you in the car.
You did
You
too.
actually did.
You hear that? It's dunk in the trunk.
You were ready to die on that hill.
It's tossing its slime in the trunk.
No, you guys would never be.
Shut
in the
up! I'm trying to
trunk. You guys
drive.
would never be in the trunk. You hear that? It's Samus. Wah, 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 wah.
We did this all for him. That's what makes me. We did this for him.
I
Dawson.
mean, we would have been doing this otherwise,
I-
but it
no,
would have been
I
nice.
would have called out.
Because we would you
Just
have
wanna
I
stay
would've
at home
called
and
out.
play Melee.
would have called in
Yeah,
sick.
played those salty friendlies
Yeah, I
when
would've-
nobody was really having that much fun.
Well, Dawson just kept screaming at me.
He just does.
I
This
like
guy
that.
likes to think that he's a connoisseur, and he's just spamming Unga Bunga options like the rest of the people.
You
at
were
his
saying
level.
I was an Unga Bunga man,
You
but
are
but
the
I was just
most-
waiting for you to be like, ooh, and then I was just like, ooh, ooh, and then that was it. And then
That's
I F
literal-
smashed you with
yeah.
Marth.
If you're getting hit by F smashes, it's like who has the small brain?
You're the dumber caveman.
I played my main and my fox. Did I actually did my fox one? I don't know.
Oh man, I would hate to be walking into this room. It's one of those situations where it's like,
It's interesting because we, like everyone, and also everyone watching, kind of knows. They have information that the subject doesn't.
honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to look him in the eye after what I say to him. Like on the way to the car park, I'm saying I'll look at him in the eye while I'm saying it, but like, hey man, see ya. Like on the way out,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then
Like,
we
you just-
fire in the
you just
hole
duck-
into his car.
we all pull out giant big
Yeah.
gulps. You go, yeet.
No diet either. Just
No.
corn syrup sticking to everything.
A 7-Eleven Slurpee. If you, ooh.
I love Slurpees.
Slurpees
like-
are great.
I
Except the problem with Slurpees is like they just end early. They end earlier than you think they're going
Not
to.
if you get the American size.
Well, then it's up to you. It's between you and God.
Nothing has to end if you want to pay 5 cents extra and get that bucket.
Oh man.
We can sip forever.
Do you think other galaxies have invented corn syrup as well?
No.
No, maybe.
Corn takes a pretty specific. I think the corn started in like South America, I believe.
I cannot check the
And-
tapes on that.
Check the documents. And yeah, it's actually pretty specific.
It just
it's a
started?
specific plan. No, the way that it grows is like you need.
Where did corn start?
I mean, Nebraska's got corn, right?
Yeah, but things can be transported. Australia
Mexico.
has foxes.
Where did corn start? That's what you.
And it says Mexico.
But is it just saying
It
that,
started
or-
from a wild grass called teosinte.
That's
Cool.
pretty cool. And now, random 20-person Midwest towns make most of it.
It is a human invention, a plant that does not exist naturally in the wild.
There you go. That's
Wait,
what I was
really?
saying.
That's
That's
fucking
what I was trying
wild.
to
I
say.
don't like that.
That's an interesting.
That's what I was trying to say.
Corn was flawed from the beginning.
Corn and cows, both.
Cows are real.
Yeah, but milking them is not really normal. They're supposed to just have their kids do that. Like the whole system of how a cow works is not normal.
I'll suck a cow.
They're a cultivated animal.
I'm gonna throw up.
Look, man. Well, there's like an often stand-up.
They need to be milked, and we just kill their little babies, so we have to milk them.
There's a stand-up like bit where it's like, who's the first person that ever decided to want to drink cow milk? What, they fucking suck on udder?
It's such a I hate that kind of comedy because it's just like, look, dude, obviously, like we drink our milk and we eat. It's like eating eggs. Isn't that crazy? It's like, no, dude. Humans just eat everything they can get their hands on.
Yeah.
Like,
We're just smart dogs.
yeah.
We just want to eat until we're dead. That actually makes me really sad. The dogs just like eat till it's over, man.
No, but they like run and you hang out.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like,
They
if
get
you give a dog unlimited food in a room,
My
he's
dog
ju-
wouldn't eat unlimited food. My old dog.
that's well, I,
A
actually.
lot
I'm
of dogs won't actually.
I'm
like
not a
house-
dog scientist, but I hear this is how
house-trained
dogs work.
Yeah, they'll make themselves sick on it a lot because their instinct is to like get it while it's there, and that there just was never that much in the wild, you know,
My
because they're
dog's-
pack animals, right? And just getting as much as you can is a mechanic of that.
Yeah.
No, my dogs chill out. Henry and
Yeah, because
Oliver-
they've been domesticated for
Just
so
hang
long that you can just put. They know now that there's going to be more.
Henry was a stray.
Henry's actually hardcore. Henry was in a street gang in his early years.
Henry,
so-
Henry's a stray.
He's
He
a
was.
stray.
What about Oliver?
He's Henry's son, so he was-
He's Henry's son.
I think he goes. Yeah.
Guys,
Hey, what if we
He was
just
Henry's
run the show? No.
just walk back everything we've
and
said.
time.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna.
No, we can stay. We can stay. Hey, act nonchalant,
I'm
guys.
trying to listen. I just can't.
Hey, so cool stuff. Show.
I don't think they're here.
And
You have
we're
the
live.
vantage. I can't see.
I
so
can see. I'll give you one of these.
I'm just yeah. I think so.
Uh,
All
I
right.
mean, anyway, right? Like, is
Yeah.
it really? Is it Fox
Is
that's
it-
the problem? Because I don't
Maybe.
think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll look at it.
And I'm wondering.
I
like,
think it's
that the
Tardy
problem.
No,
Flugging
you
here-
can walk in the
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
It's
No, go
fine
ahead.
over
No,
here.
it's
Go
fine.
ahead.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
That's all right.
Oh,
you wanted to sit down.
We gotta. Don't worry.
You wanted to
oh.
sit down
Oh.
at a.
a very princely chair.
You want to do.
Oh, you want a headset
Oh.
as well.
He wants. He's asking for a lot,
That's
despite
weird.
kind of being.
How much did we ask him?
So did you hit
Well-
time on that?
What was time, Rob?
What was time?
Can you just leave that up? Stop it though. I mean, that's unfair to keep it running.
Oh,
Oh, I think we should.
I think we should too.
All right.
Interesting.
You're-
All right,
mi-
so
Oh,
stay
how much is up
muted.
with us actually?
Is this mic on?
I'm a little late. Can you guys hear me?
Who's this?
That's Chris and Tiffany. They gave me the ride here.
Oh, okay.
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 A 2-person operated car.
Yes.
The first of its kind.
So
but,
you got this to go. That's interesting. Because you
did.
had tweeted about.
Hey, so let's get Google
Yeah.
Maps up.
Yeah, no, you guys. I'm ready to.
You love King Taco,
I love King Taco.
and you were convinced by a friend, and that's interesting because. Did you sit down in the restaurant and eat?
No, the food's still here. I'm gonna
But
eat it.
how do you know you love it?
How do you know you love
How do
it?
you
Did
know
you lie to
I've
the
had
people?
It before. I've had it before, like during Paragon.
Why tweet now?
Why tweet what?
Because in the tweet you mentioned that your friends finally convinced you to go to King Taco.
Oh no, that was Sherry because she convinced me in Paragon, and I used to hate on it because I thought it was fake Mexican food.
So when you walked in, what made you say you love King Taco?
Oh, it's really good, and I knew that was part of the reason I was late because I demanded it. But here's the thing. Let me explain.
Oh, please.
Let me explain. So, to get here from where I live,
It's a journey.
I want to let you know I left my house at 3 p.m. 4 hours before.
Did
the
anyone
timer
see
was
you
set.
leave your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get witnesses?
Do we have
I
tapes?
can get some proof. What is this?
Do we have tapes on that?
I can get some proof. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have some kind of timestamp somewhere. But I got to leave my house at 3 p.m. to get here, and I want to let you know that's the same amount of time it takes to get to Mexico. That's because we're dealing with LA traffic. And what all
The
I
LA
wanna do-
traffic, gamers.
So here's what happened though. So I
Classic
left
culprit.
I left at 3 p.m. and I got in the area around like 5:30, and this is all I wanted. Okay, I knew that I had a time sensitive
You got
thing.
to this area
All I wanted,
by 5:30.
yes, all I wanted was a beer and some food,
Okay.
and that's all I did.
That's all any of us want.
I
Really.
didn't
I'm
mess-
hungry myself. I love beer.
Do you want some food?
Oh
You want
no,
some of this
I
Tamale?
couldn't
It's
take it. I
actually-
couldn't
no,
take it
no,
off
no,
you.
I won't.
No. Did you wait?
So-
You've been here
So
since 3.
like I felt. So here's the thing. Like so I drank for about 40 minutes,
Nice.
and I drank a lot, and I drank really fast.
Nice.
That's why
nice.
I'm a little off right now. But I thought I feel bad because I got to be on time, but I also still need to eat.
We got a new tech guest.
Interesting.
And I'm thinking, they can't really be super mad at me because I left my house at 3 p.m. And this is just what LA traffic
was
is
that
like.
was that relayed to you?
No.
Interesting.
Wow.
See, that's a weird thing because you didn't. That information wasn't
You
communicated.
know what I was
Wait,
saying
what
to all the
part of
people
that
in the car?
information? What's up?
In the car, Hugo, I was saying
On the way here?
everyone talks shit about Hugo. Like I think we were talking about most persecuted smashers.
Well,
Okay.
Most
you just
prosecuted-
brought up
most
that he
prosecuted
was the
smashers.
most persecuted
And I was saying
smasher.
that unnecessarily. I think Hugo's just had such a tough go.
Yeah, I feel like.
And I was saying I'm
it's-
glad
it's,
we're having him on the show because of that.
Yeah, because I get to show how I'm actually like a really kind person.
I
It's
don't know if
really
I
good.
want this, dude.
That's really good.
All right, I'll
You
try.
try it. Yeah.
He doesn't like Mexican food.
Oh, you don't? Are you against spice?
We all want it. We're all waiting with bated breath.
It's a tamale.
No, I get it all now. No, it was all right. What's in that?
Okay, look, I totally
That just
understand.
seems like average Mexican food to me, though.
And-
I can't ever tell the difference.
I mean, he's Australian, but
No, he should. That means he should be really.
so what we thought was like, you know what? He said he went to King Taco, and we actually looked on our phones and said that's pretty far away.
It said nearby.
It's like 3 miles.
It's like 20
miles.
minutes.
20
I
minutes.
think
If
the
we're
nearest
measuring
one
in
is
time.
about 7 miles.
And so we said, huh, wow,
Yeah.
That's a while.
And in the car, I was saying, look, guys, I'm trying to ask him a lot of real questions today because I feel like he just gets roasted a lot on platforms like these.
Yeah.
And I was saying, let's not, for once, let's not do that.
It's true, and we had to be like,
And you know what these guys
"Eh."
were saying? They were like, nah, dude, you trying to die on the Save Hugo Hill. What do you want?
But basically, what we were saying is he is definitely not as persecuted.
He's not a victim.
And
Yeah.
as the timer started going up, I started saying, maybe the nameless masses
Maybe.
have the right idea. Maybe gyms
Alright.
just really have it right.
Look, this time you would be correct. This is not.
Let me just ask you really quick: is this like, if Dignitas said, "Hey, bro, we're thinking about signing you," are you going to be an hour late to that meeting?
Absolutely not.
Interesting. I
How
wonder.
many viewers do we need? No,
Wait,
ha-
do you
could-
guys have a salary for me, or?
No.
what we're looking for is how big does our platform need to be? Because we really
Well,
want to know.
How many
to have people
followers
turn
on
up
Twitter
on time.
For what?
for you to keep your word?
How many retweets do we
At
need?
what point are we big enough to have people turn up on time?
Okay.
Just throw out a number, and then we can work with that.
Look,
It's
this
Also,
20K.
By the way, it's 8:13. I said that we would run Hugo's late bits until 8:45. So real questions will commence now.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Real quick question before I answer this line of questioning. You guys started at like 7:30-ish.
I told you 7.
You did, but you guys started at 7:30.
We did. That's our starting time.
It was a bit of a boozle because we
Because
know
we
how
knew you'd be
smashers
late.
are,
Because you knew, yeah.
and you
Okay.
even we set the bar.
It's totally,
Your
At a
power,
certain-
your power
Totally
level
fair.
broke the scouter.
totally. No,
Like, we really try to
wanna-
play around
You-
the power that you have.
I want to promise you, it doesn't. It's not like some TPP thing.
You do this to
I was-
everyone.
No, this
People
is-
outside
no,
of Smash.
No, you could. I promise you, this doesn't normally happen. It's just. I thought we had some friends here, and there'd be a little bit of.
We do. We had
So-
some friends.
Yeah. I can also weigh in on the TPP thing as a
Please,
TO.
as a TO in
Uh,
SoCal,
Okay,
I've gotten at least 30 messages from you saying that you're going to be late to tournament.
like 10 minutes. Am I Westball's late?
is he
You
Westball?
gotta answer me that.
Yes.
No, that's a goddamn lie. You know that's a lie.
You know what else is a goddamn lie?
I've seen West.
3
I've been-
p.m. from
no,
LA.
No. I've been at your tournaments where Westball shows up at 8 p.m. and I'm there at like 7:15.
7:15.
I can't recall.
And hold on, I'm just gonna be real with you. Are you gonna get me back home by 2 a.m.?
Hey, here it
Never. Not me.
Okay.
Here it says
Maybe you, because you somehow take 7 hours.
6:39.
All right,
So,
I
so
take a little. I take a little bit. Of time.
Here's another thing we wanted to clear
a
up.
few minutes late.
A few. 20 minutes away.
What do we like call a few?
And then you said, oh, it's like only 3 miles. You, someone who drives in LA traffic, knows that it's time, not distance.
That's
Does
right.
anyone want some tamale?
I'm vegan. I'm good.
No.
No, thank you. I
Yeah.
ate tuna sandwich.
I had enough.
Okay.
I had plenty.
Oh.
I actually ate before the show.
Well, that must be nice to have that kind of convenience.
Yeah, it was a canned tuna sandwich.
It was.
Because I live off a Patreon. Hugo.
I saw it.
Is that funny to you? You think that's funny?
Maybe I didn't consider.
Some of us lower
Is this
That's your
in the
mamata.
Melee Kingdom. Not all of us are sponsored by Dignitas.
true. I mean, I guess it just kind of fell on my lap. I didn't really earn it or anything.
But you know what it's like, right, to eat tuna sandwiches?
I do.
Yeah.
I did it for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Things are
Things
are
are looking
nice.
better now.
But look, I didn't mean to do this.
I mean, you say that when you're holding a fucking tamale
It's still
in
smoking.
your hand.
It's kind of hot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
really
didn't
good.
didn't get
But
cooked that long ago.
I want to let you know that I normally don't do to go, but this time.
Thanks for having some respect.
Yeah. This time I was like, guys, we gotta.
What's
we gotta
that?
Take this. That's the half burrito that I ate on the car ride.
You didn't eat it in the
I
building?
ate half. No, I ate half of it here, and this is.
Do you think King Taco has tapes? That we can
I think
verify?
in this
I got a
area,
receipt.
yeah.
I got a receipt. You want to see the receipt?
I want to see the time
Please.
receipt.
Yeah.
Produce the receipt.
timestamp.
This is actually really good evidence. Because
Really hope
the
I saved
tweets were
receipt.
painting you in a
Usually I
really
just-
bad light time-wise.
Oh, I threw
Where's
away
the
the.
bag? Oh no, I got it.
Threw away the
Okay,
receipt,
I got
guys.
it. We got the receipt.
Let's go and check these tapes out.
Ooh. I don't know if that looks good. We got the time at the bottom.
Time at the bottom, 7:32 p.m.
Yeah. That's that. But
When
I
did he
mean,
message you?
But I wasted no time. What?
Real quick.
Okay,
this,
so,
this is the problem. Yeah.
Let's just see here.
6:39. Yo, gonna have to grab some food. Gonna be a few minutes late.
Okay.
That's gonna be no problem now. 7:26. Just ordering food now.
He was. Yeah, I assume he
So,
was in line. That was
6:39?
6 minutes
6:39.
before
Gonna get
he
some
paid.
food. It took you 45 minutes to get there from.
Ouch.
Well, there
From
was a
wherever you
line
were.
at the place.
I'm sure it did take
Okay,
you
look.
6 minutes from the time you messaged that.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
All right, so we can.
I think this has been a thorough flogging.
Yeah, we
And
can. We
yeah.
can
you
give him
know
his
what,
sentence
Hugo?
and we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's reconcile our
I
differences.
just want you guys to know I didn't, dilly daddle. I didn't lollygag,
You got here at 3 though.
but I still got here late.
You left your
fully
house at
accept
3.
that. I left my house at 3, but I didn't lollygag.
How many Yelp reviews did you sift through before you landed on King Taco?
No, King Taco I trusted. I did
Okay.
go through Yelp reviews for the beer place.
Okay.
Oh, so you went to a place before
Brewery.
King. A brewery?
Around here.
No, yeah, that was. Well, I mean, he says he wasn't lollygagging, but he actually made time to lollygag, sort of sanctioned lollygagging, which
Yeah.
it's fine. Look, I think you've had a thorough flogging, and no, we're not paying you, but like Scarface said, it's two things in this world.
Two things in this world.
That's right.
What are they?
Your huevos
Huevos?
and your word.
My huevos and my word.
Yeah.
My word was kind of a lie.
So,
That's
'Cause
cool.
I-
So we've established there's a
a
liar in the room,
a
and now we're
lie-
going to ask some questions
A lie
unrelated.
by 15 minutes. A 15-minute lie.
I think the people can make their mind up on this one. You've
anyway.
seen the stamps.
So-
You've seen the information.
Welcome to the Bad Melee podcast featuring Hugo.
We're all here now.
We're all here. He's enjoying a tamale, King Taco, wonderful place.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually. Look, I actually did really want to come here. I'm a little late. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, thanks for coming though.
But no,
Just-
no, no.
if you
don't-
can show
no,
up
no,
any
don't-
time, that
don't-
means a lot to
don't
us.
thank me. Don't thank me.
What were we gonna even talk
But-
about, man?
But I love you guys. I love you guys, what you guys do,
Thanks, man.
and I did want to be here. I'm a little late. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, you said you were gonna shill for Summit here. That's a
No, I
conflict
mean,
of interest,
it wasn't-
right?
It wasn't gonna be like super shilling. It's just like
The tweet has to say
you're not
something,
gonna,
right?
You're not gonna stop me from talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, we
and I
won't stop
doubt-
you talking about it,
So
but
for-
we'll also start shitting down the same canal.
That's totally fine. Yeah. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's still gonna be like it's hanging in the air. 'Cause
Summit's
it's happening.
coming up. We
I
all know
suppose
it's
it
coming up.
is, yeah.
Yeah. And I get that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I heard Jay Kim's not going to try this year, so it's like you
that's
got
what
to.
he said. But he might. He's not on a contract to say he's not.
No, he's not.
So
But I mean,
we would
he
just have
why
to
would he?
see.
He just he doesn't usually lie to me.
Well, no. From what I've been told, he said that before,
He has, yeah.
and then he just opted in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he might, and it's like it's not even a bad thing if he does.
Yeah.
But he
yeah.
might, because
I hope he does, honestly.
I don't, but that's just a lot of competition that I'm
Yeah.
not willing to deal with. But
So, real question: who do you think's getting in? I think Ginger's getting in.
I think Ginger's absolutely getting in.
I
What
think he
about
deserves
Army?
it too.
Army's going to be questionable.
Really?
I think.
What about Franz?
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about.
No, we can talk
Well,
about.
We could
Summit.
talk
Oh, I
about
just can't
not
shill.
you
Oh,
going
right,
into
right,
Summit.
right. Okay. So
I
we'll
just
talk-
can't chill 'cause
Shilling. Here's
we'll
the thing
talk
about
about
shilling.
everyone
We have a
else.
long history with the concept of that and this show. And I mean, to come in hot.
Tamale
it's just a
Hot
little.
tamale, if you will.
I'm tamaleed in.
Um, But Franz, why not? You know.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. I think Army has a solid shot, and I'd actually be really happy if Army made it because I think he's been working really hard. He's kind of earned a shot skill-wise, and he really wants it. You could tell that he's not about to fucking. Am I allowed to cuss here?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not about to retire the moment.
He's not allowed to
Summit's over.
He's not
fucking
playing.
retire.
He's
He's
not
not
playing
about to
melee for
fucking
the
retire the moment
benefits
Summit
at this
is
point.
over.
He's really playing melee.
He's actually playing melee. He
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
wants to get better, and he actually wants to reap the benefits of it. So does Ginger. So do a lot of these people.
They're hungry for the top.
Um,
They're not on their way out.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not even secretly on their way out like a lot of other candidates.
A lot of people at this point are kind of. We were saying on the way home. Leffen actually, he was in our car on the way home, and he was asking really interesting questions. One of the things he asked us is, Smash goes down tomorrow.
On the way home from Full Bloom?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And he was saying, Smash goes tomorrow. Who's fucked? And we were
Okay.
saying like
Oh,
Hugs is a good candidate to actually make it past Melee. Like people with Leffen said that one of the reasons that he really wanted to give DBZ a good shot was to trial a game that isn't Melee and see how people would react to him as a personality without
Yeah.
Melee.
Okay.
And he was going through the people, and we were like, not to shout out a guy right now, but let's say Moon, right?
Mhm.
Melee, like this is a circuit where everyone's kind of in a band, and you just go to the next thing.
Yeah, the next show
It's like
is always
this-
what you're looking forward to.
This
Okay.
like 80s rock thing where you're just touring with Sabbath.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Right.
almost famous.
It's
You're
like
just on
other
the-
esports are like Sabbath, and Melee's
the
like the
roadie.
opener.
Yeah. And we're just
Okay.
on the road until it kind of drops. You know, everyone's just like staying at. My mic just went.
I think it's
No,
your
it's
monitoring.
Just all of
Okay,
us.
cool.
Yeah, just run
Yeah,
it
I can
through.
still hear it. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that
So who do
we're
you
kind
think
of like
would be
this
done?
backup band, and yeah, it's just get to the next place.
Right.
And people who I think might be like, I don't know what guys like Hacks are doing. you
Okay.
know, whether he needs like there's people who need Melee, and then
Yeah.
there are people who are like ready to transcend that.
Okay, so you mentioned the Moon.
I don't actually know about Moon his
No,
life.
that's fine. No, that's fine. I wouldn't say that even he would think it's a diss because I think that he'd be fine because I think he's enough of a personality where he'd be fine, and he knows enough of the FGC and like connections where he'd be okay.
Well,
I think a lot of
What
it will
about
come down
None?
to-
Someone
I-
who's moved to this country to play Melee or like operates a lot.
It'd be
in
hard
this
for
country.
None. It'd
Yeah.
be hard for None. And of course, I don't want to discredit anyone on their ability to just move on and do something else. Like
Well,
I think
People who reach top level Melee have done something hard already, right?
yeah, and I also think, in my honest opinion, every single top player, in Melee, I feel is like a really smart individual. Maybe like one or two exceptions, but I think.
I feel like you can get into top 50 chump checking. Hugo, how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not there yet. If you guys have beer here, we might think about it, but absolutely not. No, but I think the majority of them are.
All right, we'll leave that.
smart. Yeah, are. What? We good? Are smart enough to figure something out. Now, I don't think all of them will make it, but.
Well,
I
they're
think the Moon would be
literally like
fine.
Melee's almost small enough as is. If we're jumping ship like immigrants, like there aren't enough other countries to. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if we're immigrating into other esports, it's not all top 100. It's maybe 10.
Yeah, no,
Like,
absolutely.
Also-
FGC has their own people who are established.
Yeah,
right?
it
Absolutely,
also
yeah.
begs the question, like, let's say something happens, like, where do these people move into? It's not like they're good at the game, so it's like, what, they just become massive streamers?
They
like
can't-
variety
They become
a lot of
variety
them will
streamers,
not
it's like-
become variety streamers
I
because
think
they're
if most
barely
people,
doing it right now.
yeah, if
Yeah.
Some of them will be successful in other games, possibly, but not a guarantee, and that's very few of them. So I can't speak to the skill part of it, but in terms of like what they're doing right now with their streams and their variety ability, I think Moon's fine. I think other people would struggle. Possibly None might struggle, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to figure it out.
but like you've
if
been
we're just saying
you've
like,
been at
right
the
now-
variety streaming game. You've been in doing
Yeah.
the social stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
And you have that personality that can carry something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know if, like, Moon's personality seems to be a lot built around Melee memes and memes in general in
Uh-huh.
terms of his fan base.
Uh-huh.
And carrying off a stream that's like 5 days a week of like both playing random games and being interactive and entertaining, I think is almost a different skill,
It's
especially without Melee in the mix.
Yeah. And it's tougher for me to see that because I mean, I think the Moon is entertaining regardless of the Smash memes. Like that's what he's on right now, but I don't see him being stuck with that. I think specifically New York is such a involving scene with the other games
yeah.
that he would just have enough connections where he could just
But would
and
he,
he knows
would he
enough
variety
about
stream
Street
5 days a week though?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he started streaming Street
Really?
Fighter and he knew what he was talking about and he had friends
That'd be really cool.
that could actually help him out with it.
Okay, well,
So,
that,
like-
that shows I don't know
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
about him then.
So like that, yeah, I would disagree with the Moon, but I would agree with some other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Does
think
that scare you at all? Like the idea that like your homies and possibly even you like have a falling out of a
It
scene that you've
scares
dedicated
me
so
a
much
little
time.
bit, but I don't think that I would fall into that category.
You
I
would
feel
not
like I would
personally
figure something out.
But
And,
what
like,
about
right
your
now,
homies?
Right now, I have no answer for that, but I would figure something out.
Yeah.
Is what I think. But
Yeah,
my
yeah.
homies, yeah, absolutely.
You're
but,
probably in the higher tier of category of guys who are going to make it out all right if
Yeah.
that were to happen.
But I also, I don't know. I guess when I got into this whole Melee thing, the homies' success wasn't like an initial thought. It was just like, is the game going to make it? Are any of us going to make it? And then once we did, it's like, oh, awesome. But I haven't really thought about, what's going to happen to these players if
It's
the
not your
game
job to
fails.
either,
I
right?
think about
Yeah.
what's going to happen to me
Yeah.
if the thing fails, but I just don't think about it in those kinds of
And
terms.
Leffen said,
Like, we're not Nelly and the Saint Lunatics, like, thinking about, their homies, the guy in the
Nelly, like Furtado or Band-Aid?
No, I'm talking Band-Aid.
Band-Aid
Because he wore
Nelly?
the Band-Aid for a guy in jail, his homie. And the whole time they were doing the whole St. Lunatics thing and the early 2000s thing was we're doing this for our homie, we're going to get him out of jail, and we're figuring it out for everybody.
Okay.
And then they all kind of failed. But that's
Well,
not really how...
Well, I mean,
Is it?
we're
this
guy's
actually very
spoon.
closely
Hey, we're back. Did
affiliated.
Did someone shake this beer?
Who's kicking the moderating, by the way?
I don't know, man. It's
You
all
kicking
wonky.
the
bucks?
You kicking shit?
You kicking?
You come here and you kick
I'm
stuff.
not-
put your
no, I'm
shoes
trying
all
not
over
to.
his
this
I'm
guy's
not-
cracking
I'm
a
trying
beer
not to.
under there now.
That's all right. You can put
Is
it.
that okay?
It's
That's
okay.
fine. I'm
Okay.
just wondering where
It was
mine's at.
handed to me. Yeah, it's handed to me.
It's all right. Look.
Okay.
But you know what's also funny is like Mike. He was like
Mike
Hayes. He was
Okay.
really like trying for a long time to do that like streamer, like support myself, like YouTube, all this stuff, and he's kind of like I wouldn't say failing at it, but it just wasn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't
Mike's
taking
Mike's
off.
content was like two What's Up Gamers.
It was really
Wait,
what's
what
up
does that mean?
gamers.
What does that mean?
He was
Hey,
like,
what's
"Hey,
up,
what's up,
gamers?"
SoCal? Today we're going to talk about top 5 things that happen in the scene.
Okay.
Number 1, he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And
So
the thing is like he eventually he got sponsored. He got on
Yeah.
Beast Coast, and he was just like, "Fuck that!" And it was kind of like, it was this sense of like he was just going through motions.
I feel like Smashers are really happy to be at the place where they can just get to the next thing. As I was saying, it's a bit of a theme. Like Leffen was saying that his plan from a young age was like, where am I going to be when I'm 30? Like
Okay.
he was like he's like, this path will take me to being like.
And this
and
was it? This was his path?
Well, he just loves Melee, but
Okay.
he was thinking like 5-year plan. Like I don't think many Smashers are even thinking 1-year plan. And he's like, it shows in the way that they don't improve.
Right.
And he was just kind of not going off, but he was just saying like, my Facebook's going to be really sad in 15 years. That's what he said. And all he was saying was like, yeah, like
This is a very real talk.
he's like, yeah, it is,
conversation.
it is, because like
I'm
most
like-
most
I'm
Smashers are thinking
surprised.
about Summit right now. How am I going to get to Big House? How am I going to do this, that, the other? And it's easy to stay on this Neverland circuit, and it feels like it's lasting forever, right?
Yeah. But I think Smashers would be dumb to not think that it's
But like
to not understand that it's not going to last.
a lot of people are coasting in the top 100 though. Obviously,
Well, I wonder
I don't think
more
everyone's
about
grinding
young.
as hard as they could.
I wonder more
Yeah.
about young kids where it's like Cyrox or something when he
Okay.
started like going nuts and becoming like a top 50 or whatever player, and it was just like what's gonna happen to him? Like we talked about it like last year on the podcast. Like Aaron Carter, you know Aaron Carter? He wants candy.
You're talking to one of the few people who knows exactly
I
who Aaron
think
Carter is.
Yeah.
well, you, me, and
Precisely, yeah.
tens of millions of 14-year-old
I was
girls
about to make a really
like
low
14
crowd,
years
but yeah.
ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But so I was like, what if Cyrox just becomes Aaron Carter and he thinks he can just like, he just like loses these periods of his life to this game.
What I'm
and
saying
this
though is
scene.
like if you do that hard enough, you can like Lef at the same age probably thought the same thing. He was like, I'm gonna fucking do it, and then he did. And now he's
yeah, but the thing is,
like,
not
I think-
everyone can do that.
I think, but you can though.
But not everyone can.
But all you have to do is make enough terrible decisions hard enough, and it gets you over this line where it's like, hey, you,
Yeah.
you made it.
Well, the
Like
thing-
you have to go all in on some really bad ideas.
So here's the difference, I think, between the people that are gonna surpass this and just continue on
yeah,
versus the people who just succeed in this.
and all of the gods are set,
And
right? We can
no,
kind of all agree
I
on
would
that.
not say that. No, not at all.
People are
I
still
think-
clamoring PPMD to this day. Man,
But
hasn't
what
touched
about,
a
I
like,
mean, it's
controller.
true,
King
but
or
if
something?
Melee's gone, like FGC's not clamoring for PPMD, and
Yeah.
he might be around, but it might just be a flash in the pan. Like if
I-
it's not
I
Melee.
think the king could literally get a job.
the king,
Mewtwo King?
Mewtwo King,
Mewtwo
yeah.
King?
Mewtwo King?
Doing
Yeah.
what?
I think that there would be some way for Mewtwo King to use a connection to live.
No,
Like-
I think he'd just be talented enough to pick up another game, but I don't think he'd work on a connection. Like he's not going to be working at Nvidia.
Yeah.
I'm saying like if you
I'll
have
I think
a
he's
manager
also
at Nvidia.
he's also like.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
Armada?
I don't think that's. Even Armada. I don't
You don't
that's
think
gonna be
he's
his path.
even though he has a piece
no,
of the
he's good
company
enough-
that he's sponsored by?
No, he'd have a path, but I don't
I
think
think he
it'd
owns a
be-
piece of EG.
Does he?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
100% on that, but I'm pretty sure he has
actually,
a
with
partnership with,
Armada,
EG that's
I
managerial.
would see Armada sooner being a bigger streamer than it is than him like taking on an operational role like that.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying.
Really? You think
I think-
Armada would be a streamer?
I think
can't
he's-
watch that
I
guy
think
stream for
before-
10 minutes.
I think
Dude, well, he's
before-
trying to get into like YouTube and
Yeah.
streaming and stuff.
He's
No,
really good for
he's
YouTube.
rocking his YouTube more
His,
than
Yeah.
his
a lot of
YouTube's
us
really
are.
good. Yeah.
He's rocking it, and I think so. I think here's the big difference between. So there's different paths to success in Melee, and there's a certain path that I think works better with transitioning onto anything else, and that's the path that tells you more so that you just do not give up no matter what happens. Versus I need to learn my tech chasing, my frames and like all these specific things.
Old
that are
school
just
player
specific to
mentality
Melee.
here.
And
You
in
gotta be a
my
winner.
mind, the only reason I'm still good at Melee is because I just don't believe in giving up, and I just feel like finding a way to figure it out.
What-
Right? Whereas
how do you
opposed to
feel
other
when you see
people
somebody
who
break
already
the
have a
game down?
path. Well, because other people already have a path set in mind, but that path's just going to work for you for Melee. And I don't necessarily look at Melee that way.
Okay, I see what you're
Whereas
saying.
I
now.
kind of just look at, I'm going to find a way to make it work when the problem arises, and I'm going to figure out
But do you
how
think
to
that
make it
finding a way
happen.
to work only when a problem arises keeps you at this level of like just solving problems? Like Young Left saw a path and was like, "I'm not. There's no problem now. I'm living in
Well-
my bougie Swedish
Well,
house, but I'm gonna do
his
something."
path? Because my path was basically I'm going to play video games for a living.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily I'm going to be this good of a fox. I'm not necessarily going to be
Okay.
Armada or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to be wherever I need to be to make a living doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's a very different
playing,
goal. That's
playing this.
a
not
very
necessarily-
different goal than I'm gonna
Than
be
the
the best
best.
player in the world.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a different goal, and it's still a goal. But
But I've heard
I
you
will
say
admit it's a
that you
different
don't
path.
want to quit until you're number one.
Yes,
in a lot
but
of
it is a
interviews.
different way to look at that goal. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you on both of those tips still?
What's up?
Are you on both of those tips?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just like a different mentality. So, like, let's say Melee fails or it just doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I'm still thinking I'm never going back to my accounting job, so I'm gonna figure something. out.
Oh, really? Okay,
And
so you're
like,
you're
no
like
matter
all
what,
in.
it's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm just
yeah.
gonna figure it
You're
out.
gonna make it work.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
I really
That's-
like
that's what I
that's a
look at it
a
as.
life mentality, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say
I
that
think you
it's
just ticked this off again.
necessarily the right way. It's just the way I think, and that's just. And if it works out, it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you rather? So all right, so you can flip a coin,
Uh-huh.
and it either makes your dick an inch smaller,
Oh, this is a good question.
Okay.
or an inch bigger. Do you flip that coin?
Like heads is one, tails
Yeah.
is the other.
Yeah.
It's a
50-50
shot.
Is this somehow related?
No,
to the,
we're going
okay.
in a different direction now.
Because I got a question for
I mean,
you.
it could
we'll
be.
tie it in. We'll tie it in.
No, I'll tie in.
Okay. So you're asking, I flip a coin.
There's another good question
Inch,
that comes after
half
this.
an inch or inch?
Full
What'd you say?
inch. It's
Full
it's
inch.
a
Yeah,
50-50.
it's a full inch, but it's
Full
like
inch smaller or larger?
it depends on the coin flip.
I don't flip it.
You don't flip it at all.
I don't flip
I
it.
don't flip either, by the way.
You don't risk.
I don't risk it.
And I'm not saying like I can't benefit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that.
the loss would be
But I'm
bad,
saying
right?
I'm happy right now
Yeah,
with how I
yeah.
am.
What
so
I'm
good.
saying is like the benefit to me would be
If I-
less good than the loss would be like damn.
If I was rocking like if I was rocking 3 inches, then I would go for the flip.
You
like,
flip
what am I
like
gonna- what am I
you
gonna
start
lose?
hitting the button as fast as
Yeah,
you can.
I go for the flip. Like what am I gonna lose? I'm gonna be rocking 4 inches. That's cool.
Hey, here's a good
But
one.
I'm okay right
Do you
now. and
flip
I'm
on your
not-
height? 1 inch. And you can flip multiple times.
Yeah.
I would.
Because this is the really
no,
hard
I
one.
would say no because 5'7" doesn't mean shit compared to 5. So I'm 5'6" and a
But
half.
what- you
Would I
could-
round that up to 5'7"?
you could run it
So
up.
5'8" doesn't mean anything.
What
compared
if
to
you win like
5'7", so
4
it's
flips
just
in a
not-
row?
Yeah,
Huh?
4 flips in a row. And
Oh,
you're,
I could get.
no,
you
you
can
can
go more.
keep
Stack or
going.
more.
I could stack. them.
Yeah, but like you could
Do I have to
obviously.
commit to 4 if it means I'd go for?
No, it's like you
4
flip
half
one.
inches lower.
You flip one, you win. Okay, go for it again. You flip one, you lose.
I-
What
Okay.
about double or nothing after every flip?
That's double or nothing is just redo the bet. That's what that means.
I would.
Common misconception.
If I could get 4,
Really?
I would flip. Basically, I would need to know that it makes a difference.
Yeah.
You have
So-
unlimited flips. You
so
could
in-
flip
in
and
terms
just
of-
get bad
in
beats
terms
until
of
you're 3 feet
penis,
tall.
1
Flipping-
inch wouldn't
that
make
doesn't- that
like it
doesn't
wouldn't
change
just
the
change
dick
my
thing
life.
because,
it
like,
wouldn't be like crazy.
I
I'd
feel
be,
like
it'd be cool
But what if you hit 3 heads in a row? No pun intended.
if I hit 3. That'd be awesome.
but
but like,
at that point as well, if you have
Thank you.
anywhere in the realms of a normal-sized John, like 3 or 4 flips positive could have you with like a borderline unusable tool.
That's true.
So is this the
you're in some, like-
conversation you guys need to be on time for?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is-
the
I mean,
one?
this is
Okay.
one of them.
This
yeah.
is okay. Yeah, I understand.
We
Yeah,
need
yeah.
4 people
This
to
is
come to
important. Yeah,
answers
I
for
see.
these important
Yeah.
questions.
I see. Yeah. I would. It depends. The circumstance you gave me, I would say no. I would not flip. But if you're offering me stacking abilities on each flip,
For height or
For-
horizontal height.
not for height.
I don't
Because
flip
what?
either.
Could I lose 4 in a row?
You could, but you could also
would not
flip
take
4
it.
in a row and get it back.
No
I would
flips.
not take
You do not take it.
No,
Oh,
I would
well.
not take it. I do not want to be 5'3". I don't want to take it.
Yeah, because like if you
Then I'm kind of fucked socially.
And-
to be honest, which sucks. But yeah, I would be.
and if
Pretty
you're
fuck social.
gambling as well, it's like you lose 2 in a row quick ones, and there's that spaz where it's like
Yeah,
all in,
yeah.
and then
I gotta
you
get
can-
back,
you
I
can
gotta
go
get
so
back.
south so fast.
Well, can I gamble until like I don't exist? You know what I'm saying? Like, can
No,
I
you can
gamble
only hit,
all
like, you can
hard
only hit,
cap
like,
411.
411. Yeah,
of
hard
the-
cap
411 is the cap.
411's a
At
hard
that
Can
point,
I
they cut your
gamble
credit line
411
off.
to the point like if I'm going down and I'm like at 3
I
foot
think you
two,
should be allowed to go to
At a
like
certain
3
point-
feet.
Yeah.
at a certain point
to
I'm 3
dwarf
foot
out.
2 and I have a chance to make it back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
no,
what I wanna
that yes.
Then I would gamble.
I think 411's illegal at the work.
I think like you come down to like 3'5",
If
which
you-
which isn't a height people often say.
Yeah.
Because it like you stop counting out, but like
Yeah.
you're 3'5", and then you can open up new career paths.
Yeah.
Which is
So it's
kinda,
like a no lose
a whole
at that
different
point.
It's a no lose.
But going to 411 is a pretty hard lose.
411 isn't. You're not
There's
getting.
no careers for that.
You can't
There's
get on
not,
the
yeah.
circuit of the
No.
daytime talk shows and stuff. So
No, absolutely not.
Does this food destroy your stomach, or does growing up in
absolutely
this environment just allow you a stone iron
Do you think
stomach?
this?
I had one
dude,
bite.
he eats
though.
canes, and he'll be like, "Oh boy, so I don't know about my stomach
Because I've
right
been in
now."
Australia
Yeah,
and I
how-
feel like you
the
guys
food
got
quality
great
is
food.
insane,
The
right?
food quality is great. This is not bad food quality. You're not having bad food right now.
No, we're not. But like, every place we would go, right, when you're staying, it's a new restaurant, and like the
Fresh.
food that comes out is insane.
Always fresh. It's amazing.
This guy's coming. He's going to experience it.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
dude,
going
it's
to
amazing.
Australia.
It is. Australia is literally the best parts of the U.S. 100% of the time. So you're literally
I don't buy
living.
that. I don't buy
You're
that.
living at peak U.S. all the time.
Really?
It really,
100% of the
it's
time.
the secret land of the free.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding. It's
oh,
actually
yeah,
true.
they
I
have
thank you for
socialized
sharing that.
healthcare.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like you just get to live in this
Yeah, and
Gummy
I'm
bear
not. I'm not just
paradise.
talking
Isn't
about like
gambling
the
illegal
economy.
there?
Right? I'm also talking
one
about the
casino per
way
state.
Oh,
people
yeah.
interact with you. Like everyone was not racist. Like it was just great.
Did you feel like people are racist to you here, or to people you're
It's
with?
rare here.
It's
But
rare
what
in
I'm
LA,
saying
but
Is I was walking down the streets in Melbourne
Yeah.
at like 3 a.m. drunk, and everyone else was drunk, and I
That's
was
how we roll?
obviously different looking.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
not
yeah.
even like a peak.
Well-
Like none of it was weird.
Oh,
and
no.
like I don't normally get that here, but it'll happen rarely, and I know it'll happen anytime I leave California. Like California is pretty.
Really, some guys
in my
gonna get
opinion, it's
at you
kinda
while,
peak
while they're
US
drunk
too.
and just be like, "Hey, you're not like me" on the street.
Yes, something.
In like the
Really?
Midwest.
Like there's
or
people like
something.
stumbling out the door with like a girl, and like they'll be like just like on like the guy will be on some kind of defensive or whatever. And he'll
Really?
see me,
Yeah, no, I've noticed that in
and like
America
it'll
as
just
well.
be nothing. It'll
Because
be like, hey, what's up, man? And like it'll just be.
in
fine.
Australia, the worst thing that you can do is be that guy. Like, if you kill the
That-
party like that,
Oh, really?
all of your friends are gonna be like,
Oh really? Oh, that's
because
great.
like you want to. If the coolest guy is having like the guy who has those girls on his arm or whatever and is leaving the club is having the best time.
Like he's just happy. with
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that is exuding. So like, he's not like, fuck you for being whatever. People
Yeah.
hate that in Australia.
Yeah.
And straight away they'd just be like, oh, this guy, killing
No.
the night is the worst thing you
Yeah.
can do.
I was literally walking down the street by myself, graffiti all over the walls, and I just felt totally fine and cool and safe. It was great.
when you went to Indiana last week, was it?
So look, I'm gonna tell you a story. So like this time in Indiana, it was totally fine. The time before, and it was why I hesitated to going back to Indiana, it was different. And so like Dewan told me a story. Shroom told me a story where he was walking down the street in Indiana, and a pickup truck drove by at the intersection and just yelled some shit at him, and he didn't hear it. But he's like, I know it wasn't good. Like,
my
I'm like, yeah,
God.
there's no way they yelled like,
And
we
then-
love diversity. Like,
Right.
they didn't yell that.
And then
She's the
and then he
best.
drove
Yeah.
home and then turned on Twitch and started streaming.
Who?
This
The-
guy,
the guy?
this
Well,
trucker.
Here's the part. Here's the part we were joking about is the Drake album just came out, and literally every frat party we were walking by was playing the Drake album, and I'm like, yo, they love the music.
Yeah, no.
but
Have you
they're-
ever
Yeah,
heard?
they're not-
but they're talking
You
shit
ever
to
heard
you while you're walking
the
the streets,
fucked
and
up
that's
joke?
kind of
It's
messed
like
up.
keep them on the radio.
No, what's
It's
that?
like people who are like, yeah, that's how I like my black guys on the radio.
Who said that?
It's
Like
just like, a
racist
really
people.
racist joke.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
like, yeah,
That's
it's
fucked up. And I'm
it's
not
like steal the culture, right?
Yeah. But I'm not saying like that's what everyone was doing there. Obviously not. But the people in the car that were yelling at Dewan, I don't know for a fact, but I'm highly doubting they were saying anything positive to Dewan as he was walking down the street, like in
That's
a pickup truck,
fucked.
just yelling
I miss
at
your
him.
doc.
And yeah, love your dog.
Bring the dog back.
And and it's not me saying because I didn't see it, but Dewan was the one telling me he was literally felt uncomfortable with that situation.
That's so fucked, dude.
This time around, I didn't experience any of that, and I know it was probably just a couple shitty people, right? So it's fine, and it's been fine wherever I've gone, but at worst, it's been a little different. So like I went to Chattanooga, Tennessee recently, and it was totally fine. I didn't get anything negative, but there were vibes. You know what I'm
Really?
saying?
it's,
Like,
it's that nonverbal like
and it, yeah,
tension.
and it's more that they've just never seen anyone like me.
Really? I
The
thought
majority of
Mexican
them
people-
probably haven't seen many people like me, so it's just kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But they didn't say anything. They were nice about it, so it's totally fine.
Dude, I don't
But-
fucking trust the South, and I've always said this.
How is the place?
Fucking-
How is the place
No, no,
closest to Mexico? Not
No.
it's
used to
not.
Mexico?
It's
California.
not. You need to see a map.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
It's
no,
not that
and, like,
close.
Yeah.
every time I've been to the South, it's actually been fine, like in the Smash community. But what I'm saying for Australia is that I didn't even feel that kind of difference, even though I was clearly
That's sick.
most
Clearly
multicultural
different.
city on earth, dude.
clearly different from everyone that was living there, right? But here, like, I didn't get racism directly, but I felt different and I could feel the vibes. But in Australia, it was different. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Did you feel like our Smash culture was different, like our scene?
No. Felt like it
Just
was
same
pretty-
shit.
pretty much
Yeah,
the same.
same shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were all friendly and nice, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like super different, in my opinion.
Okay.
I guess that is always a constant, boys. Just Melee is the same weird low bar.
Just us gamers, right?
Just gamers. Gamersonly.com. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Not to like start going off on like a big tangent about race and stuff, but my best friend growing up is Mexican, and he was like a jock. He was like pretty much just one of the football guys, and he was in with like the main guys, which were just primarily white
Yeah.
dudes, and they would tell him all the time, like, no, dude, you're one of the good ones, and it's like, are
Yeah,
you fucking
yeah.
kidding me?
That's like one of the worst.
Yeah.
But I feel a lot of that just has to do with just a lack of experience in not saying that kind of shit.
I think
you
so,
know
too.
what I mean? Like I know they mean well, but they're not saying the right thing.
I'm really loving these
And-
memes about like you know the sweating.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, like the gif of that guy pouring sweat.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're supposed to not say one word.
Yeah, one word on
Yeah.
the stream. And dude, like that, it's just been so crazy because like people have messaged me. They're like, "Why is it a big deal?" Whatever. And
What, they message you?
Well, they'll message me because
'Cause you've been
I've
tweeting
been
about it.
tweeting about
Yeah.
it, but like it's been different every time. They don't really get my context or whatever. Like when I commented on the ninja thing, right? Like everyone knows about the ninja thing.
Yeah.
You said it during a song.
He said the N word while he was like singing the song or like rapping something, and apparently they weren't even part of the lyrics, and he just said it, right?
Which
But
is
I
a weird
saw it.
play. It's
It's a weird
weird
play to
play.
make up your own
a
lyrics.
racial
But I feel
slur.
like,
Yeah.
hey,
I think I can make the songs better. But
Here's
like,
one
as-
simple trick.
as somebody-
Everyone hates it.
as somebody who gets lyrics wrong
Let me
almost
ad-lib.
habitually,
yeah.
I get lyrics wrong all the
Yeah,
time.
and
Yeah.
he'll die on that
And
hill.
I,
too.
I sing songs and get
Yeah.
the lyrics wrong. I have a bad
Like a
success.
lot?
I have a
Yeah.
very bad success rate.
Yeah.
And the way with modern hip hop is going, where a certain word is often every second word on a track, it's easy for a guy like me to be. I would never be singing along on a track in that situation.
Right.
But if I were singing along on a track, I say the wrong word a lot, and that word is just a very common word that I might think is there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah,
if
okay.
you're a lyric mixer-upperer, in the current
Wait, so you're
climate,
saying you would?
no, I'm saying that I would never go near a song
Oh,
with that word
okay,
potential.
okay.
I would never be like, this
With
is
that
the word
word
I'm
potential?
thinking.
Yeah.
Like you
But-
would like mix up the Lumineers or whatever. I belong with you. You belong. Like you,
No,
you
I'd
would like
say-
mess up
I'd
those
say
lyrics,
neighbor.
right? Neighbor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
You'd mess up like the Killers or something like that. But
yeah,
not
I
like-
mess up. I mess up every other
Yeah.
song without that
Yeah,
word.
What
so
he's
what I'm
saying,
saying
he would be
in-
having a track that
in-
wouldn't even come
come
close to
close
that
to that.
zone.
That's
Yeah.
where I usually sing.
Yeah.
But I would never. But what I'm saying is,
You
in
wouldn't
current
dabble.
hip hop climate, where that word is pretty prevalent,
Yeah.
often every second word in some of these songs.
Yeah.
I can see why Ninja might have thought that was the word.
That
he
was the
looking
word, and
for.
he was wrong. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
I don't
but and he's just streaming to like
I think that-
100,000 people.
That one's like a 4 out of 10 bad.
Yeah.
Because it's not directed at anybody. It's
No.
a soft A,
So-
and it's also during a song.
Here. Well,
A-
before you move on to the next thing, I just want to comment on that because I did comment on what Ninja did,
And what do you think?
and it was strictly I was commenting on the fact that he was. You got to be dumb to even come close to messing that up in the position you're in.
Have you-
so
you've
what
seen the
he
Chew That clip,
actually
right?
did, huh?
You've seen the Chew Dat clip, where he's being paid to sing songs on his stream, and he
No.
he's reading the lyrics.
I
'cause
mean, I
it's
know.
songs he's never heard.
No, I
They're
don't, I don't
making him
remember that.
sing like top
no,
40.
I don't remember that. I
He's
gotta check that
Anyway,
out.
he's singing top 40 for like summit votes or donations or whatever, and they're just making him sing random Rihanna songs and stuff, and he's just going through these songs,
Uh-huh.
and there's one song which has it in it, and because he's never heard the songs before, he's literally watching lyric videos and just like
And he's just
out
reading
of
it out.
key reading it out,
Yeah.
and you can see him
Yeah.
start saying, he
So-
says it all, and then his eyes just go
I was
wide.
like, oh, I can't say this. Well, here's the thing.
He kind of
Um,
pauses and then says it. Yeah.
I think Ninja only fucked up by being dumb enough to think that he could say it. I don't think the act itself was bad, but it's just like if you're in that position, it's like literally like being the president. Well, not
Again, it's the
not
one
our current
fucking
one,
thing you
but
have
just
to.
imagine. Yeah, it's just you just got a job to just not say, so don't even dabble.
when
Like,
in
don't even
doubt,
fuck it up.
stay away.
Yeah, and I bet you if Chew Dat was like more famous, like Ninja famous, he definitely should not be doing that. Right?
I feel like Smash gets a lot of passes though. I feel like there's some late
'Cause
night
we're
Mango
not that-
streams that
we're
are going to
not
get
that big.
nuked that
There's
have
not
like
as many
Right?
eyes
Obviously,
on it.
if a guy says it if a guy says it violently and insultingly,
Yeah,
then
that's different.
then he's gonna get
or
the same
calling
kind of
something
shit. Yeah.
or somebody that is
Yeah.
like doing an action they don't like.
Right,
Just a bomb.
Yeah,
a
just-
guy in CS did
just
that,
like
right?
the
Yeah, the
CS
CS guy was
gunplay.
out of fucking control. Did you see that clip?
That was actually a
That
problem.
was like,
that was
you know what's
actually,
funny? He didn't
that-
walk it back right away.
That's
He was
so
just like,
fucked
yeah,
up.
whatever, bro. And
And
now,
then
he
everyone
made
else
the,
on chat was like, oh.
now he made the apology post like
Oh, he
3
did.
days later. It's
In
like,
the clip, he instantly backs it up. He's like, "Fuck whatever."
no, not in the clip. Just like the next day, he's like, yeah, so what?
3 days later, or no, the next day he
The
was
next
like,
day,
whatever.
next
he's
day
like,
he doesn't
whatever,
care
on
about
the
it.
internet.
Yeah.
That's the
3 days
problem.
later, he's like, okay,
That's
now
why.
I'm sorry.
That's why
It's like,
when
shut the fuck
when
up.
when Ninja did it, I was like, that's just stupid because you know you shouldn't do that. I understand it was not that bad, but it was just kind of stupid of you to do that. And then he didn't fuck up the second step, which is just apologizing the next day, and then you're good. And he literally did it the next day. He's like, I'm sorry. I know it might be offensive to some people. I apologize. And I was like, all right, good job.
Yeah, it's just like you
That's
did
all
the
you
bare
need to do.
minimum.
Like you didn't violate it that bad, but you also acknowledged it and you apologize, and then you're good.
Yeah, that's
You're
all
totally
it is.
good. Right, the
Yeah,
CS
dude.
guy, this guy literally used it as
It's
an
just a
insult.
word, bro.
it's out of control.
When they try to play that card, it's like, what are you doing?
No,
dude?
and this is the example I was thinking. Right, the only reason
it's like when you caught his
the
mafia.
only reason that word comes out is because you're using it in private. Like I've never accidentally yelled out ramekin to someone because I don't use that fucking word in private.
That's
right?
true. Yeah,
I barely
yeah,
learned what that word meant like a couple months ago. Right, it's a little fucking cup that you cook cupcakes in or some shit.
I thought it was.
I didn't
it's
know
not
it had a
it's
word.
not
It sounded
Jewish
like
holiday.
a League of Legends
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
It sounded like a League character, right? Ramekin?
Yeah, something like that. Right, exactly. That's actually be an amazing character. But I never use that word, so I don't have that word in my vocabulary, so it
Yeah.
doesn't actually spill out. Right?
These guys are yelling it in traffic.
There's no way the CS guy has not been saying it in private to his friends, and then they all
That's
laugh
how you
about
know.
it. And
It's how you know.
that's my guess. I don't know for sure, but you
It's a pretty accurate guess, I'd say.
Yeah, but anyway, if you happen to be streaming to 100 million people,
just don't.
Or even 50 people.
or even one person,
Or-
Just
it's a good idea just to like not ever say it.
period. I don't think you need
But
to
whatever.
say it. So, but, you know.
Yeah, and the words don't have power argument is bullshit because literally
Absolutely
that's
bullshit.
what our society is built off, is off words having some sort of value, right?
Mhm.
And when
Absolutely.
like
What?
it was gonna loop that all the way back around to the start of this show
Uh-huh.
and be like, and that's why when you say
When you say yeah,
When I say I'm gonna be on time,
We're
those
over it now,
words
we're over it.
matter.
We're over it.
Mhm.
And that's so what you did, you didn't say it but you basically words matter and by transitive property.
but like
you essentially
Ninja.
hard out on stream
Like
by
Ninja.
not showing up.
I could apologize. You guys down for a beer after? I could.
You could, yeah, and we'd say, hey,
Around.
Around. Yeah.
straight edge, straight
Around?
edge.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
so
Are
we
you
don't
guys
know.
actually straight edge?
Yes.
I'm not straight.
Let me
I claim
let me
it, he
ask you
doesn't.
guys the hard questions. Why are you guys straight edge?
Don't you love
You
having
go
this
first.
conversation? Don't you fucking love having
Every
this
single day
conversation?
of my
Hey, why are you guys
life.
different from us, bruh?
Yeah. Why are you?
Why do you like doing what you do?
No. I have a
No, but it's kind of just that. I just
just don't.
whacked him.
Well, here's the thing. I've never smoked weed. I've never smoked at all.
Okay.
So I have
Really?
an
Really?
answer
You
that
play
I feel
Melee and you've never.
never in my life.
You're
So I feel
you're
like
the
I would
one
have a
This guy's
similar
shocked.
answer.
This guy he's laughing like that is a complete lie.
No, he knows it's true.
You're the 1%er. Who
So is
hasn't
your
s-
answer the same as mine? You just don't feel like it.
I've indulged in the past, and it just
It just didn't.
didn't tickle the right things that it might tickle for you. I'm not one to
Okay.
shit on other people.
Right,
for
right,
like
no,
liking-
no, I
I'm
get
not
it.
saying you are,
Yeah,
but it just
It's like Miguel.
I know Miguel. Yeah.
Fucking Miguel in a Norms once in Claremont.
Oh shit!
don't bring this up.
Claremont? Okay.
No, this
No,
is
I
a
wanna
good
hear
story. This hasn't seen
That
the
was
light
the
of day.
worst night ever,
Were you there?
dude.
It's all a blur.
I
I
was
try
there.
to block it out
It
of
was
my
bigger
memory.
bulk. We were the whole. You guys were working
Hey,
the
where were
event.
me and Ben and Lude and stuff?
You're probably like
You're-
hammered.
No, you're at the trap.
I
You
resent that
left.
you assumed that I was hammered.
Well, you said where me and Ben and Lude
Okay, yeah, we were.
You were. I think you were at the
at the house.
house with the Franz.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, we're at this fucking Norms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Already an L.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Claremont.
That place
Miguel
sucks.
is just keeps asking Dawson why he's vegan. Just like fucking, and then he's like, Dawson explains, it's just kind of like the way I like to,
He kept-
to live and do it, right?
Kept, like,
And he's
pushing.
like, yeah, but don't you think that like this? It's like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
Miguel,
Like,
at all times.
He's wearing
Stop
a Mario
talking.
1-up hat at this point, plaid shorts and a graphic
Yeah.
tee, and he's asking you why you're vegan.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, dog.
And it wasn't that. It was just like
He's
the thing is he couldn't take. There was no right answer for him.
yeah, he needed you. Essentially, he wanted you to convince him to turn vegan.
No, he wanted
Like,
me to just
essentially, like-
either like fully convince him or say, "Yeah, I'm stupid."
You're
for
wrong.
being
yourself
Yeah,
a
yeah,
double
yeah.
edged
Or be
bitch.
like, you know what? You're right. One steak,
But, like,
please.
Yeah.
But like, I
Like-
feel
Bring,
like
bring the A1.
I feel like the only answer anyone ever needs is because I fucking feel like it, and like
Yeah,
that's it.
it's like,
Like a lot of times,
as long as it's something that doesn't affect other people.
Yeah,
you
as
can
long
have
as you're not
convictions
hurting
about your
anyone.
own life.
So like sometimes when I judge people online, people say I like have crazy opinions or like I'm very like imposing on opinions. All they literally need to tell me is like because I fucking like it and that's it. And I'm like, cool,
Yeah, I'm the same way.
that's it.
I even
Like-
with serious shit, like my friends, like answer me this question, and if you say yes or no, it doesn't matter. I have to believe you. Just yes or no.
That's it.
That's it. Like,
Yeah, if you like a movie that I would consider shitty, you tell me I just think it's fun. I like it.
you have
That's
to
a good
respect
enough
I don't-
answer.
yeah.
I'm not trying to convince you that it's great. I just fucking like it. I'm like, cool.
That said, let me ask you, just over and over on your Twitter, it's on some micro shit.
What do you mean?
It's like fucking you pull out the phone and you're like, all right, meatballs, I'm about to tell you about fucking what I think about corn tortillas. And it's like,
I actually have a very strong opinion.
I'm sure
about
you do.
corn tortillas. And it's not because I'm.
And it comes across as if your opinion might be the only valid one a lot of the time.
listen,
it-
fuckers.
Like okay, so it
Gamers.
depends on, and I totally know what you mean. I totally
Let me
know I
learn
come
you.
off like that. But I mean,
You know what? I'm guilty of this as well, by the way. You and me are the same.
like, give me an example of something
Like, someone's talking some dumb shit about Melee, and I'm just like, no, dog.
no, this is the way it works.
It's just
right?
like, this is it, and you're just dumb
I just
for thinking
don't
anything else.
see a world where someone could tell me that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. I just don't fucking see it. I've had Whataburger a couple times.
Yeah, that's the Mark
It is
Wahlberg
cold
place,
and
right?
trash.
Is it?
Mark
If you were to
Wahlberg's
literally
burgers.
tell me, I just like it more. I just like the flavor. I know it's not better quality. I just like it. Okay, done.
You're
Right,
you're
but-
furious, but okay.
I wouldn't.
Everything
I wouldn't
comes
even be
back to
furious.
In-N-Out.
I mean, some of us
I
just
no,
have to
I think
take,
it comes
you know?
down to how self-aware you are of the shit you like, and that's it.
It-
Like I like stupid shit too.
I've always
sometimes,
had a
but I
problem with
know it.
people.
But
like,
are we just like Miguel then, where we get mad if somebody tries to defend their own
no,
opinion?
it's because you
No,
know
what
when
do
to
you mean?
fucking chill out and say, you know, oh,
Okay.
that's chill.
Not 2 hours into the norm session where I'm still getting questions.
I think that's just like
Yeah,
that's
he's
just like
still-
massive social.
He's like acting like
ineptness
he's
there.
lay woke man, and just like, no, but like, don't you get it, man? Like, meat, we need it, bruh.
It's like you're not. They're just animals,
Fuck
dude.
off. Fucking idiot.
Like,
But no, I always had a problem. Like, I'm not talking about you specifically. Like, when you start to identify your human core as like, I like Splenda.
yeah.
And
You know,
this is big in music.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
how-
for
how
sure.
so? Like,
People identify by what they think is like patrician taste or good taste in music. And like me as a young age, I told Anthony this story a lot of times. Big paradigm shift for me was I was having a conversation with this girl, and at the time I was playing pro poker, so like all of the things that I did and all of the conversations I had were literally breaking down because you can get answers a lot out of poker.
yeah.
All you have to
absolutely.
know is like, the only question is like, how often does he do this with this hand? And then you can go back through history and find that answer. And then so once you have that answer, you can come to every other conclusion of like what you should then do.
Mhm.
And you can break everything down pretty close. And so all the conversations I'd be having were about these kind of topics that are like, yes, no, why.
Mhm.
And so I was having a conversation with this girl about an album, and I was just like, she was just like, yeah, I just really like the new Daft Punk album. Like, it's a throwback. It's trying to get you nostalgic for something that never existed. The melodies are really, really overused. Like, I was basically stating why it was a bad album in terms of like the technicality of the music and the fact that it was like appealing to something that doesn't even exist, and why that's a stupid theme.
Mhm.
And she was just like, yeah, I just like it. It just makes me feel good. And that's like the purpose
I
of
feel like
music.
that's a good answer.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
at that time, I kind of just walked away and got another beer. I was
Well-
like, I have just this is conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you've just
And
destroyed
it's
me.
okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Like-
yeah, you can't argue with that.
Because
She
that's the
likes it.
end goal of
Yeah.
like music, right?
And
But I
like-
run into so many people who still haven't had that.
No, and so let me give you an example where it didn't work that way. Where I was arguing. So The Dark Knight Rises came out,
All right.
the one with Bane,
Yeah.
and
Pretty
we were
laughable
we were
movie.
in like the work. I was at work the next day, and my coworker was talking about how, like, talking about the movie, and she says, "Oh, I loved it way more than Dark Knight." I was
And you just stone cold stunner her right on the fucking.
like, I just stopped. and I-
DDT'd
and
her
I-
on the desk.
Here's
and-
what I asked. I just asked, why? All I need to hear is just tell me why.
She's like, Bane's traps
she
are
said-
just so thick, bro.
She said Bane is just so much cooler than the Joker, and I say, why? And she says, I don't know. I just thought the Joker was annoying. Why? And then she tells me, no, he was just lame. I like Bane better. I'm like,
Don't say
That's
it.
not good. That's not a good
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
because at that point I'm just gonna
Oh,
assume that
no.
you literally just don't understand either thing that you like. You can't actually define what you like.
And then you
If
just
you were
start
to
making all
tell
this,
me
like-
that I don't like the whole crazy woke angle that the Joker is, and I kind of prefer the more deliberate, logical angle that Bane was, okay, you got me. I can't argue with that. That's just what you like, and then Joker's something else, whatever. But you're telling me Joker's lame. No, he's not.
I don't
You're
know,
telling me
man.
Joker's
I
whack.
don't know.
No, he's
I
not.
feel like this is just a good
this is
enough
the same,
answer.
Yeah.
It's a good enough
Yeah.
answer. Why don't you like the Joker? Because he's lame.
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
no, that's a refusal to answer.
no, it's
that-
not.
It's an
my
opinion.
It's
Now,
an opinion.
Why is Bane cool? Because his traps are huge. Okay,
Oh, I'd accept that.
you'd
That's-
accept huge
that's,
traps.
That is, you can't deny that. His traps are amazing. You can't deny that. He's physically imposing. I like that. You can't deny that.
That's so interesting. Because I don't know. To me, in my brain, that's the same when you don't accept the Joker is annoying.
The thing is, like, so, like, if someone, I'll take it to another level. Boneless wings versus bone-in wings. Someone says, like, I like bone-in wings, right?
Yeah,
And
that's the only opinion to have.
It's an actual wing, as opposed to a chicken nugget.
I mean, that's the
But like
only
I
opinion
asked
to
them,
have.
I say, why do you like boneless wing more? And they say it's better. That's not an answer. That's not even like.
What if they said it's better to me?
Then that's an answer, and I would accept.
But that's what all of our opinions are.
I would
It
accept.
comes-
I might
all
ask
of our
why,
opinions
and they
are
say,
right, though.
but all they literally have to say is, I just don't want bones in my wings. And I'm like, okay,
But then the
You're
girl
good.
who
So
said
much
the
work,
Joker
dog.
is lame, is there not the
because
preface of like to me?
all I want is for her to tell me why she thinks that, and she cannot come to that reasoning. Then that means that there's no reasoning. They're
What,
just
but
saying
what if she
shit.
doesn't owe you an opinion? She doesn't owe you
She
a
doesn't.
good answer.
She
to
doesn't.
her
I don't
opinion.
owe her.
But you're asking
You don't.
for
He
more.
doesn't owe her
Yeah.
to not DDT
I don't-
her.
I don't owe-
in the conference room.
I didn't grill her or anything. I'm just saying I don't owe that answer respect.
No, you don't. But asking another question on top of that is like implying that you are deserving of. A
This
real
is kind
answer.
of like
No.
I'm getting
Well,
flashbacks of
all-
Miguel.
This
No,
is
no, no, no,
Miguel
this
too.
is-
Miguel plus. Miguel plus.
No, no.
Miguel DLC. DLC Miguel.
No,
Bongo Bongo
I
Man
think
Plus.
if we talked about the whole vegan thing, we would come to. I mean, first of all, I don't disagree with it to begin with.
Yeah.
But if
I
I
just use a
happen
massive
to,
cognitive dissonance in my.
like, if
meeting.
I asked you of chorizo versus soy riso, and you told me that you'd have a reason,
To be also
but you
fair,
wouldn't be
it's-
able to tell me that chorizo is whack. I wouldn't like.
Actually, he
that's-
says that
Actually-
all the time about anything.
That's you opened a bad can of worms.
okay.
Yeah.
In
you
general, I
say a noun and doesn't just like under his breath. That's whack.
Or you can't tell me like chorizo's mired in Mexican tradition. Like I can't accept these
No,
answers.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
like,
yeah.
if you
I-
just like it,
like to go back to the whole straight edge thing, I think my answer to you would be it's because I like being present in moments as opposed to inhibited in certain other ones.
wait, that's your answer for?
Being straight
Vegan?
edge.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
To run it
To go-
back.
yeah, go back.
And then
That's totally fine.
yeah, exactly.
Totally fine. Yeah.
It's different. It's hard because like I feel like you asked the question out of like just a conversational like, hey, this is interesting. I think this is interesting. Let's talk about it. And some people ask that out of like, well, why don't you eat meat,
Yeah, the-
pussy?
Every
it's
why,
like-
yeah, every
Alright.
why
It's
that
less of
gets
a
tackled
question.
on just makes it like more of a
More assertive for
Yeah.
no reason. Yeah.
More like an attack rather than
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
inquisition.
Unless there's a way to do it where you could be like, oh, why is that? Like, there's definitely a way to have that in a conversational tone. But when you're giving somebody an answer about how you live your personal life, and they're kind of just like, and
you become Miguel.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll be real. I didn't do it exactly
no,
that
you-
way.
You, definitely
Right.
don't come off as somebody who
But-
would do that. But I think it's just like you have way more social awareness just as a person.
Yeah, I would give you I'm giving you like the short version of it,
Yeah.
but essentially like I was trying to actually figure out what the reasoning here was, and I felt like
I think you and me are on the same. Like, we're just Charizard, and he's just Charmander. Like, he just
just
he
what do you
has
mean?
the same thing as we might in him to be like inquisitive and want to know why people are different to him, but he just hasn't caught on to that part yet where it's like, A, people are allowed to be different, and B, there are better conversations to have in a diner than grilling someone about their personal
about
life.
vegan. Yeah, about being vegan. Yeah, totally agree.
Like, so he's just level 6 Charmander, and we've already kind of gone through those times of like having those awkward
Those watershed moments where you're like, what?
yeah. And,
It's okay?
Yeah.
and still kind of want to know what's up with people, which is the good side of that. And maybe he did want to know what's up, and maybe in a way he felt bad about eating meat, and he wanted to hear about why someone doesn't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Are you talking about me or Miguel in this?
No, I'm talking about Miguel. And
Okay.
a lot of the time, people
was like-
usually grill something that they feel like is attacking them. So you're just you existing and being vegan is kind of attacking
I
him
think
at that
Miguel
point.
just does it because he likes doing it, not so much he wants an answer.
No, but it's like the guy who feels a little closeted gay and then he's ripping on gay people, or he's trying to get
You're
trying
saying
to get to
Miguel's
know.
saying
closeted
Miguel-
vegan?
Yeah, he's,
No, I think that
I
he
just-
might,
I
he might
need you
deep
to
down
convince
feel
me.
like maybe chickens and cows weren't born to just be killed at our hands.
Maybe he
And
does think that.
no. I can,
Maybe,
I can tell you from conversations with Joey and Alex, it's
but what I'm saying is maybe there's some sort of like, I do this and it must be right. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck that
that's
guy.
what I'm saying. It's
But
like
yeah, I
somewhere
see
in
what
his
you're saying,
brain
I see
there's
what
some
you're saying.
cognitive dissonance potentially.
It takes some growing up to get around that.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sure I was that at some
different
point.
strokes for different folks.
yeah.
But
we're
yeah,
all
music is the
stroking,
one
boys.
where everyone. You know, when you,
Sounds-
have you ever met somebody whose entire musical opinion is just an Anthony Fantano review, like literally verbatim?
You
What's an
sound
An-
like me
what's an
right
An-
now, where
What's
I'm
an
just-
Anthony Fantana review?
Okay, good. You're
Okay.
you're one of the blessed few.
It's
I
not
think-
that
I think
bad.
it's a bit
I like watching him because he's funny. Zishin. Did you get
it's
this
a
King
music
Taco listen?
reviewer. Yeah. Guy who
He's-
reviews music is like popular with the kids, you know.
Okay.
Reviews
Is
rap
he like
albums.
just extra? Like
He's just like
He's actually very just
he's pretty like middle of the road. Just breaks stuff down, and but I don't know.
see, I feel you have like a very strong taste in comedy, a very strong opinion in comedy.
Yeah,
And I love that shit.
I guess like
I love that shit because I find whatever I find funny, but I'm down for someone to tell me that it's not supposed to be funny. And
see.
I'm
Okay,
totally
the
okay with
thing
that.
is, I look at it in the a sense of like there is an optimal mechanical way to look at humor and comedy, and it's kind of like saying, "Fucking this set of Melee from 2007 is the best of all time,"
yeah,
and I'm like, "No, you got it fucked up. It's
Yeah.
actually Leffen versus fucking."
Mango, whatever.
Genesis 4.
Yeah.
That's the best one because it was like technically just so
yeah,
amazing and
Right.
almost flawless or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And sort of how I look at humor and comedy, and me and Miles have talked a lot about
I
this.
feel like
It's
comedy has way more F Smash Math stands than Melee does. I feel like there might be a bunch of people who really do believe that 2007 or whatever, this skit, which was like literally just the F Smash Math of comedy, is the best.
Yeah, and it's also hard because like if you want to align it with like actual art, which I typically don't do, but like you look at a painting from like the 60s, it's not about what's painted on it. It's about what it meant at the time. In context,
Yeah.
the art is important. So I can understand if people are standing for like Andy Kaufman, even though it's fucking whack.
Totally agree with your opinion.
You
on
know,
that, by the way.
but
I did not think.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to look at it like Leffen's looking at Andy Kaufman and he's saying, no, he's just doing it wrong. That's not optimal. At least in today's current meta, and that's how I look at stuff, right?
Okay.
So when I rip on something that sucks today, that came out today and sucks today, it really is bad in my eyes.
It's within the context of where we're at now. You can't be Ken anymore and win.
Right,
is what you're saying.
exactly. If you're looking back and saying, Ken, look at this crazy Ken set. I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate that at the time for what it was.
It's like Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up doesn't really hold up today.
No, the stand-up doesn't. Oddly enough, though, the show still
The show is
slaps
timeless.
pretty hard.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: what if someone is still? What if people are still laughing at Andy Kaufman?
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's like 40 people are gonna still think that that Ken played really cool in that set.
And
It doesn't
for
matter.
those
Oh.
40 people to say that people still find it funny, so who are you to say that it's not funny?
Funny is much more subjective than Melee, which has a windscreen. I think we should just clarify that
It's
now.
true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's easy to just like make the comparison, but that's true. And you get into subjective like, I'm also like, I would say like a fart is the random F smash of like humor.
I'm laughing as we
I
speak.
think Fire in the Hole is the tip-off.
Fire in the hole is the tipper.
We love Fire in the Hole on this show.
You know what fire in the hole is?
No.
You drive up to the McDonald's window and you get a big fucking drink and then you just yoss it back in there.
Straight at the guy who made
Eternal, dude. That's
it.
never
It's
not
so
good.
fun. It would literally,
I would never do it, but anytime I'd see it,
on a YouTube compilation.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would
it's like
laugh.
he just gave you that. Why are you
No,
throwing
but
that?
like I still I am not like some sort of high art snob. Like if you rip
Yeah.
one right now and it was like perfectly timed and
Yeah.
loud, I'd be like,
That'd
oh,
be great. Yeah.
I'd be shattered, right? It's still so good. So there's a lot of nuance in it, but I've never been the one to say this isn't funny. I more am the one to say this is doing it wrong and here's why. Because that's the only
Okay.
way you can do it.
Yeah.
When you technically break down something of a joke which has a structure and you say, no, they fucked up. This is why. You can be like, this is perhaps why it shouldn't be funny. If
Yeah.
it is to you, you're just like dumb.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion like I
Okay.
can come to.
Well, I read that and I appreciated it. I thought it was
The
even
Andy Kaufman tweet?
even even if I don't fully understand it, because I don't understand comedy on that level. But reading it, because I know that I don't understand it on the level, I want to hear it from someone who does.
You know what's
And
funny
I'm
though?
totally accepting of
Is
that.
you don't need to understand comedy on any level to still laugh at a joke, and that's the cool
Yeah.
thing about it. So what I do by breaking stuff down really actually doesn't matter. It's like a masturbatory thing.
You just kind of laugh at it and then you break it down,
I just
or you
like
don't laugh at it
I
and
just
then you break it down.
I'm the kid who takes his toy and just takes it apart and looks at it and like, oh neat.
It's still fun even
I
if you don't
do
know how
that.
it works.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of it, is to
Yeah.
be fun, not to be sort of like, it's a toy as is. But then when you take it apart and look at its insides, its purpose or what it was doesn't really change.
No, it's now just deconstructed. I'm like, oh, look at all this neat, cool stuff. And some people are like, you're trying to take the fucking joke out of it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I just like looking at that wheel.
It's almost
Yeah. No, I
what's
totally
the word, like parallel to things being funny, and it's like almost a separate hobby.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is, and it's breaking down a joke is not supposed to be funny.
Don't
It's
you
something
think like
else.
breaking it down to a science though kind of like cheapens it a bit, like in any sort of way?
That's like people who think that
I don't
only
think so.
Mango really plays Melee though. Like
I
Yeah.
there's
don't
two
see the
ways to play.
correlation.
Like you can be funny deliberately or you can be funny in a non-deliberate way. There's like you can read people or you can do everything by frames.
I'm saying chalking it up to like little bits and pieces and like
Honestly,
this
I
is why
think-
this is funny.
I don't know. I find it more interesting. If someone were to be able to break down Mango's style like that, I think it'd be really interesting. Because all you really do is just give Mango credit for just being, wildly intuitive to what's going on in the match, and there's no thought behind it. But if someone were to actually break down why he's successful in different ways, I think it'd be
That'd be
very
a great
interesting.
YouTube series.
Very interesting to see the option coverage he gets by just being naturally
Take
talented.
the
Yeah.
curtain away from Mr. Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
yeah,
See what's
exactly.
behind the curtain.
Yeah, and it's easier to do that for someone like Leffen or someone like Drug Fox. But if you were to do it to someone like Manga, who just seems so natural and like you're just supposed to appreciate it, for someone to actually break it down, I think that's even more interesting than seeing someone break Leffen down.
Yeah,
in my
yeah. Because
opinion.
that's
I agree.
that's a play
Yeah.
style that was built up.
Yeah.
It's like a constructed
Whereas,
thing.
whereas Mango's just was.
You
and
know
then
what's
someone's
also
breaking it down
what's-
as opposed to up.
Yeah.
what's cool about humor is like it all comes down to a when you break it down to its base elements. Like you know in math when you would like break it all down to the prime numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
The prime number of jokes is just an expectation that was subverted. That's literally it.
What do you,
Something you expected to happen, and then something else happens. That's what
that's
a joke
literally
is.
that's the prime
That's
number
what
of jokes?
makes us laugh. That's like the
That's
flint
amazing.
in our
Okay,
brain.
Yeah.
And it
Because
all
it's like
just
you're
comes down to
supposed to
that.
drink the soda.
Is
not
that
throw it.
why?
Like,
Yeah.
why is it going back through the
we-
window?
we
It
were
just
all
came
being-
out
we
there.
were all
You
being
just
quiet.
bought that. We're throwing money. Yeah, like, you paid for that. There's so many things that are being subverted, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why
yeah.
would you waste
And-
a product that
And
you
this
paid
person
for?
is just trying to serve you. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
being nice,
Literally the
not
nicest
getting a
thing.
tip.
or
Minimum wage job and
It's
just
just like it's
and
like
someone has to clean it.
your
and
mom
it's just
puts a
like,
plate down in front of you and you just slap her.
yeah,
It's like,
slapstick
why
is
would
the
you do
basis,
that?
and that's why I love it. But so like, or it's like we're all in a car and we're all human beings that came and invented cars and are driving and are speaking a complex language,
Yeah,
but then
and
our
all
butt
of
makes a
that.
sound. That's wasn't
So
expected.
what did Chudat subvert when he drew a dick on his cheek?
You're not supposed to have dicks on your cheek.
That's not where dicks go.
Right.
No one,
right.
no one
Yeah.
thought he could go that low.
And the marker goes on paper. It doesn't
Yeah.
go on
That's
your
right.
face.
Yes, it
And-
does, sir. And
yeah.
also like
And also
it-
he's
it's
also
supposed to do words.
I think what's funny about that is he's also
Not
subverting
penises.
shame
Yeah.
because he's not ashamed of the
Yeah,
dicks on
yeah.
his face.
yeah, shame.
And that makes it even funnier.
So context becomes this idea that we don't think about,
Genius.
but is always present.
Genius.
And like onions, you're supposed to cook
You're
those.
supposed
to cook those before you eat them.
When you look at the
They
Chudat,
taste
when you
horrible.
tune into the Chudat stream and he's just a dick on his face already, that's an instant visual gag because you're like, I didn't expect to see
I was
that.
subverted as fuck.
And
when I
then
saw
he
that.
Exactly.
pull,
Yeah, yeah.
pulls
I was-
out the bowl of onions.
And you're like,
It's like,
holy
that's
shit.
a lot of onions.
Those on
There's a
Apple
lot of
stock.
subversion. This guy's on another level. Yeah, it's just
So
After every onion,
Walks
you don't
backwards
think he's
out of the
gonna eat
room.
Another onion.
yeah, when I break shit down, I use the word juxtaposition a lot, and that's all that means. It's just
Okay.
like didn't expect that. But yeah, on the subject of if it cheapens it in film, if you do like a big wide shot and someone's in the middle and they're way far away, that means something to our brains.
Yeah.
Some
He's
people
small
think
in a big world.
that's right. Some people think breaking that down is fucked up, but it's like, dude, you knew it already. You just didn't have the words for
Yeah.
it.
yeah, and that's totally fine.
And the people who are naturally funny are just exploiting that. I think West subverts expectations a lot because kids will come up to him like, "Oh, top player West Balls, can't believe I just met you," and they'll put out their hand and he'll like kiss it or something. You know?
Should we do that?
No, but you know what I'm
No.
saying? Like he'll do something
Yeah.
to them that is just like not a pro gamer thing to do. He'll be like there was this one time I was playing and the kid said something. He's like, "No, you shut up."
Well, okay. Well,
It's just
then,
like, he's
well,
not
then here's
supposed
my-
to say
okay,
that.
so here's my question, because so I think West Balls has very high school humor and it's funny, but in a very different kind of way, and I don't always vibe with it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes
it's
I
very
don't.
kooky. Sometimes he's just really high.
So then, what's the difference between his subversion and like someone else's? It's just like
And that's what I'm talking
What's
about.
the
is
difference?
When you get into
Yeah.
like dissecting that.
I think
like-
it's because he's such a strange guy that for him subverting things goes into this weird other realm because his life is actually very subverted from reality. So for him to then go from there to another place
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
jars us
Okay.
because he's already living in a weird realm.
It's an ascending sort of like cascading set of contexts, right? And those are different.
It's
Your
like how the-
context is longer.
the level 2 play beats the level 1 play,
okay.
but then he's like on the wrong level for you
Okay.
sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
like using a level 4 strategy, which then in turn loses to the level 1 strategy or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like on the wrong level of Yomi of
Yeah.
jokes. Because he's already on he starts on level 2, so when he goes up a level, it's like sometimes doesn't click.
Yeah.
That's what I think at
And it
least, just because
yeah.
he's so
works out.
strange.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But what were you saying?
Just the idea that there's so many varying tastes, like also within humor, and that it takes away from just like the visceral reaction of like you hear a sound and you laugh at it.
So that's the thing people I feel like don't understand when I will analyze something on stream or something. It's like like laughing at a joke that happens and then looking at that joke and breaking it down are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that
I
always
agree.
needs to be
Separate.
understood.
Yeah.
And I feel like that for most people, it's like laugh and then move on.
Yeah, not laugh and then wait, why?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, it's not going to be funny.
Yeah.
It's like, I promise you this will be funny when you aren't thinking about it.
But most people have made a career out of asking why in some sort of field. In one field or another, they've been like, hang on,
yeah.
I want to know more.
Yeah.
And for some
including-
people, that's like what
including
frame does
analyzing
a dumb sword come out.
smash humor.
Don't be afraid to ask questions about things you like in fear of not liking them anymore.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
you're like, I don't know.
All good things get better the more you know about them.
I
Yeah.
completely agree.
I think that's a true statement.
Completely agree.
And all bad things, all things that seem good, and then you're like a lot of games that are being made today as esports, you're like, this is fun for a day, and then that feeling to not log on the next day, that's coming from a subconscious realization that there's nothing deeper for you to find. Like you experienced most
Yeah.
of it.
That's when I quit WoW. I just quit logging on, and I was like, why? And it was like, oh, I just don't.
You've done it all.
It doesn't feel good anymore
Yeah.
in my bones.
And I think that's what keeps us coming back to Melee, no matter how much we hate it. We feel like we haven't seen it all yet. And the game's telling us that in a
Yeah.
sort of subconscious way, is
Yeah.
that there's more to happen here. There are more battles to be fought. And I play a lot of games, like new esports games, and I'm like, I've pretty much seen it all after about a 45-minute session.
Yeah.
I felt that way about Smash 4 after about an hour.
Melee's the main girl, bro. You just can't.
Can't
You can't escape.
replace her. I feel like you've belonged in SoCal for a long time, dude. Just your vibes are just like
I feel like
Like-
I kind of knew that from an
yeah,
early...
like
It was weird wanting to come here, though, and wondering, like, am I wrong?
yeah. No. You give off SoCal vibes like. You
What
just-
kind? I'm interested in that because he shits on
He shits
America.
on SoCal, the West Coast. He thinks the East Coast
he
is the
he
best
thinks
thing
Indiana
in the world.
is amazing.
No, in terms of
Piece
wanting
of
to
shit.
learn and be better at the game, I feel like he's shitting SoCal vibes. Like he's just
I feel like SoCal don't want to improve right now.
that's not true. You're wrong about that.
Tell him.
You're wrong about that.
Fucking
remember
tell
remember that
him.
one time that Mike Hayes did that to you?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Where like you like literally asked
I was
Mike,
asking to come to
No,
your
yeah.
house, Mike's house. I was like, Mike, I'm fucking moved countries, dog. Like, your ass can't come to
No,
fucking
but-
Friday night
But like
tournament.
there was one day where you asked some sort of questions like, "Why am I not getting better?" or something.
No,
and then
I wasn't.
Mike-
No, it wasn't even like a dumb shit
Yeah, yeah.
question. That
No.
it was a literal game question.
Yeah.
It was like, what do I need to do to overcome
Yeah,
this
yeah. And
situation
then-
to you? And Mike chimed in.
Yeah,
and he, was
he
like,
goes,
Fuck
you know,
you.
honestly,
What?
I don't think you care enough. I'm like, bitch, this guy moved from Australia.
Mike
dude."
said that?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it wasn't Mike being a dick. It's just Mike literally thinks that most people just don't care enough about getting better.
You know what?
That's really funny.
That's
funny-
literally what he just
it's
thinks
funny that-
about most people. He
And-
thought
and
that
I
about
think
me
he-
for a
I
while.
think he's right, to be
he
honest.
literally thinks that when he's beating you. As soon as he's not beating you, he stops to think that. Because he didn't say that about me anymore. But at the time when he was beating me, he probably was thinking that I just don't care enough.
That's really interesting.
And he just thinks I care enough.
I
That's why
will
I'm
say
beating
in the kitchen, remember I was like, if your answer for like not winning is or not like trying is I don't want it hard enough. If that answer is anything different, like I can't find the time, I can't do this, then that's not the answer. I don't want it hard enough
Is the only answer.
is the only answer if you're not actively trying.
Yeah, and a lot of guys are trying to tell you, "Oh, work this and that." It's like I've been grinding Zelda for the last 4 days. Like I've been speedrunning every day, and it's like there's just so many times where I'm like, I don't fucking want to do this, and then I turn the console on and start doing it,
Yeah.
and it's not.
You just have
If
to
you
do
just
it.
want to watch TV more than the thing you're doing, you're just not going to get good at it.
Yeah. I can see that.
I think most Melee players have probably gone through.
All
that.
right, so we're gonna
Do
open.
you still play every day or
Go
like
ahead.
most days?
Not right now.
Oh,
Chilling after full bloom.
are you sure that Dignitas?
Maybe Mike was right.
Oh no, I'm very vocal. I'm taking a break until after PAX and then I'm back.
Dude,
on.
you know what the funniest thing was about that mic
I believe
conversation
in
as
taking
well?
breaks.
I had literally been trying to come around to his bummy house and play some Melee for weeks.
And he just wouldn't let
I've
you.
been.
right?
I was asking every top player. I was like, Mike, let me
No,
come
I
around.
saw it. I
I'm
knew
trying to
you were
buy
trying.
you
I
food.
knew
I'm
you
trying
were
to do
trying.
this and that. And he's like, you know what, man?
Yeah.
I don't think you really want to come around.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is 3 hours away from my house, Mike. You fuck.
No. I
At the
I-
time,
I-
I really wanted to.
I
Improve.
enjoy the idea that I act like an idiot on stream, but I actually like I put.
You're
in the
trying to do the
work
mango thing.
behind the scenes. No,
Mango minus.
I think
Mango minus Miguel plus.
I think
Oh, that's what this episode's called.
well, because Mango's still drinking at tournaments. I at least don't do.
Well, I'm
that,
just saying,
you know what I'm saying?
we talk about it a lot, but the narrative that Mango pretends that he doesn't grind.
That's the
I
biggest
think he grinds,
secret
but,
of Melee.
but he doesn't. If he could still take it a little more seriously, in my opinion. I think.
You don't think he
So
needs
I
the
think
drinking
I
at this
take
point?
it more seriously than Mango, but he's just better than I am. So he's just obviously going to do better.
Really? You think you
Like-
take it more seriously than Mango?
Well, I mean, I don't drink at tournaments. I
You
mean,
don't
as
think
far
he
as
needs?
that
You don't think
goes,
he needs the drinking at this point?
No, I don't.
No, I'm saying off a couple of beers. Like if you drink, like
No,
there have been
if-
periods
if,
in my life
if
where
he's
like I need
playing
to straighten
better
out.
off a couple of beers, it's because he's convinced himself that that's what he needs.
Yeah, and
There's
once you're
no
in your
way. There's no. I've come up with a theory. Hear this out. This is actually fact. You ready for this? Because like let's
the
say
3
the day.
beer legend.
So no. So like let's say the day before Genesis or other tournament, I'll ask like Mike Hayes, like,
Yeah,
yo,
right.
we're in the city. Let's grab a beer, and he says, "Sorry, I got a thing this weekend." And he'll always say it in a very condescending way, where I gotta feel bad
you're at the
because
same fucking
he's-
tournament.
Yeah, because
and it's like you're offering him crack.
and I'm not. Yeah,
It's like, no, dude, we don't do street
He's
drugs.
like,
We're
sorry,
adults. We're adults.
Can't hang out. I got a thing this weekend, and he always tries to make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
But then at
I
Genesis,
don't party like
I
that.
beat his ass in terms of placements. Like I did amazing at Genesis.
Yeah,
He did
yeah.
whack, and I drunk
You've
on
actually been having
Friday
good
with the
ones.
sub pub.
You've been having good placements.
Yeah, it's been good, but I haven't like the Friday before I had a drinks with everybody. I hung out, had a great time, and then I had my tournament and I did great. And then I said, from now on, you can never say that shit to me again because you said that to me and I did better than you did.
Well, can you
right?
say that about Mango then?
No, but here's the thing. Here's the.
Because he's doing better than you and he's drinking it also.
Yeah, but here's the realization I've had. Hold on. And we'll apply it to Mango in a
Okay,
second.
cool.
But basically, okay, you could get really good sleep before a tournament, and that might help you, but it'll definitely never hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you could drink a shitload before the tournament,
And it might
and
hurt.
that might not hurt you, but it definitely never helps.
You think so?
And that is the rule of drinking before a tournament. So at
Okay.
Genesis, it didn't help me, but it didn't hurt, and I was
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you skate by it and the hangover's
But
not
it-
that
And
bad.
with
it's
Mike
like a-
Hayes, it didn't hurt him,
But it didn't help.
but
him.
it didn't help.
So it's like a risk, no reward.
It's a risk, no reward, one way or the other.
Well, the reward is
You're
you get
either
to have
going
a
to
fun
take the
Friday
risk
night.
of not drinking, and the reward is you might do better, or you could take the risk of drinking, having a great time, and you might not do worse.
I guess that's
You
your
might just do
reward
fine.
is that night. Is
Yeah, you
hanging
just
out,
do
so.
you just do as well as you would have done.
Yeah.
So that's the gamble you take beforehand.
What if you came out?
Now drinking on the day of the tournament,
Different.
that's totally different. I cannot say.
You can power up.
I could no. I
you play
don't-
Samus
I
though.
don't think you can.
the
power
Dude,
up.
I
inputs
power
are
up.
halved.
But the
But the mental game.
the part that matters the most. I could tell you right now that players that are great with their characters while drunk are definitely not thinking players.
No,
like
dude, you know what?
hard-thinking
No, you know what?
players.
What do you
Spaces,
mean
all of
hard
them,
thinking?
dude.
players?
Literally, all of them
Spaces,
fucking
Captain
This is some
fast,
bullshit.
fastball. Like none, S2J,
No.
Mango.
Not
are you
thinking.
No brains.
Not thinking.
Are you kidding me? They do amazing when they're drunk.
Dude, what do you
And
mean
what do you,
not
why
thinking?
do you think
What do you mean
you
not
think
thinking?
Hungrybox is going to do amazing while drunk with Jigglypuff?
That's because he's.
I don't
Absolutely
know.
not.
Never.
Maybe.
Dude,
Absolutely
He has.
not,
I
dude.
think maybe he
Ever.
would. I think he would
Ever.
go for more wild
Never.
shit.
Never.
that's because Hungrybox.
Wild shit.
He
He's
doesn't
gonna
have a
go
cool
for
body
crazy
in his.
rests.
He doesn't have a cool bone in his body, dude.
Then
That's his problem.
that
You think Nun's a button pusher?
no, he's not. But he's never. He's gonna do
He's
well.
just. He's not smart.
All right,
like
let's
like
pick
you
someone-
aristocrat float. You're picking floaty mains, dog. That's what you're doing here.
no, I could pick a spin. All right. Do you think Leffen's ever gonna do better while drinking?
Yeah.
You're a
Fuck no, you are insane.
I think it's people who have
You are
nerves as well.
insane.
Dude. Off
Huh?
two
He's
shots,
saying
I
this
play
'cause
way
it's
better.
about himself. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I play way better off two shots.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's a lie. You're lying to yourself.
No, he
drunk.
does
You
because
need
he
to
gets
work
nervous.
on your mentality.
Because like, think about
He
you.
refuses.
That is a lie.
Think about you worked for an
That is a
entire
lie.
year and did nothing
I
but
guarantee
save.
you.
Think about you did nothing but save for an entire
Get some
year,
lessons
right?
with Drug Fox, and then your mentality's gonna be fine. You're not gonna
I'm
need
not.
those
I'm not
drinks.
trying to.
Get drunk off of Drug Fox.
I'm not trying to get drunk
Yeah,
off
you're
the
gonna be
fox.
All right, go ahead. But you were saying.
Think about you save for an entire year and all you're thinking about is doing playing melee somewhere else.
Mhm.
Think about then you get there on a plane, takes ages, you don't have a place to live, you find a place to live. And then you're like, finally I'm gonna go to these tournaments, I'm gonna get better.
Mhm.
You think you have about 5 months in which to do this. At which point you'll be
Are you
flown
trying to
home
justify
and
your
not being-
nervousness? This is
Yeah,
dumb. This is a
it's-
dumb
yeah.
How is that
conversation.
dumb? I'm just saying
because
like,
you just
it's
the
really-
answer
it's
to that
really
is to
easy.
have a better
Yeah,
mentality.
the answer is just change. And
You're the
you're about to
problem.
be like, but it's hard,
Yeah.
and that's dumb,
But 2
It's
shots
dumb.
can get me there without having to change.
The-
and that's chill, and that's what I'm saying.
That's a band-aid
Dude, he
fix,
was
though.
so fucked
That's
up.
what I'm saying,
He was so
dude.
fucked up when we took him to terms. Like, Miles, just like fucking take some shots, bro. I want to see you do good. I want to see you do. I
And
want to
then
see
he
you
would
beat
take 'em
Mac
and
D
he'd be
this
fine?
time.
Yeah, I would
You
get so
know-
no, because I would
you
get
know
so
why
close
you
to beating
wouldn't
ranked
need
players
those
and choke.
shots?
I would just choke.
if you weren't nervous to begin with? Do you think you would need those shots?
It's just really hard to be nervous.
It's hard. It's so hard.
How do you make yourself not nervous, dude? How do you make
There's
yourself
lots
not
of
do you
nervous?
ways.
do
There's
it?
lots of ways.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
lots of ways.
And one of them is 2 shots, you go. And then I'm playing good again. Think about that. Johnny Walker
think
can
of a
come to my
floaty
aid.
main. Okay, here's the opposite. Think of a floaty main
And then I'm just
who all
beating
they
that
have
rank
to
player.
be is not nervous. That's the only thing.
And
Because the
bullshit.
inputs are.
You guys,
No, I'm,
you guys are
I'm
so
on your
full
side.
of shit. No,
Chill.
no, no.
You've
I'm on
made
your
a
side
career
with
out of
this.
chump checking.
I'm the
Wave dash back. Oh.
Like a floaty main.
Oh, the guy does a bad nair. Oh, thanks.
A
Got
floating
it.
man has a constant. A floating man has to constantly be thinking. You know,
Yeah,
they have
I-
to work on their mentality.
I have
Watch
to-
the
I have to
space
catch
animal.
it.
He does a bad nair. You fuck him for it.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works, man.
You're a fucking Fox supremacist.
'Cause you know
You've
what?
gone past being a Fox
Think about
apologist, and
this,
you're a
serious.
Fox supremacist.
Think about this. Think about this. You know how you guys were like, oh, when Leffen plays Insane versus Hungrybox, it looks like there's no way out for him?
Yeah.
That's
sure.
because there isn't. And when he loses, he's getting chump checked.
But we're
No.
humans, so he's going to be a chump sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what
And
your
then
character
Hungrybox
is
is there
built
to
around.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not saying
totally
that's
okay
fine.
with the criticism that
I mean,
I'm
it's not,
just
it's not
there.
criticism.
to
Do you
take
agree with
advantage
And
of
what I'm
people's
saying-
mistakes.
No,
what I'm
he's
saying
saying
though-
that he's right unequivocally.
No, what I'm saying though is if you are in fact chump checking,
There are times.
most of the time, then it's much easier for you to not be nervous because you're not having
Did
to
you
do
think you
anything
chump
other
checked
than wait.
Amsa?
there are times where they're not really chumping that much, and I'm still checking them.
It's
So
true.
there are
But
times.
chumping comes
But
smaller
there-
and smaller the higher up you go.
But
right?
I do get a couple of chumps sometimes. So I'm like,
They come
I'll
your
take it,
way.
dude.
I mean, you don't not take it, right?
I'll take it.
I myself make
Because
a
I got
game
my
out of
own
dash dance
struggles.
grabbing.
I got my own struggles here.
Yeah,
dude.
getting killed by Fox at early
Yeah.
percents. I feel it. What
I-
I'm saying though is, in a choke situation, it is the chump who choke, not the check.
But that's fine.
It's
think
hard to be a
tot-
chump with Samus.
Okay, but I never apologize for it because so for example, I'm
That's
going
the
to give you a
advantage
very
of your
real
character.
world
That's the
example
advantage of your
here.
character.
When I worked at my accounting firm, they had like a special intern program for diverse students.
Okay.
And I understood that they were coddling me because I was a diverse student.
That's fucked up.
But I'm okay with it.
That's so racist.
So here's the thing though. They were doing that and I'm like, well, you know, I struggle in other ways, so fuck it. I'll take it. And then there you go. And then I'll do right?
What I'm saying though is that
you
your character
have-
lends itself to being in a choke situation in the better spot.
Samus is not that good to begin with.
No, I know.
So if it's a character that kind of takes advantage of other characters fucking up, then so
Yep.
be it.
I'm
That's-
not arguing that's
in
a
my
bad
opinion,
thing.
that's
I'm just saying that as a float, you are the one who is watching it choke.
I
more
think
than-
you
more
are
than-
saying that it's a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's
Because
just
when we play
because
on
I'm
the
just saying I
setup,
choke.
when we say play on the setup, you were like, "Fuck these chump checkers."
I chump check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally think that like Crush and these Foxes who are like great dash dance game, great neutral, it's literally just waiting for idiot melee players to do it, and then you just punish them. You just hit them hard as fuck.
Wait, that's what they do?
That's what they're doing.
Oh, they're chump checkers.
yeah.
With a good character.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
which you can do. But what
That
I'm
sounds
saying
great.
though is when
That's another
Samus is
level.
holding down
Yeah.
and it's lost stock, generally the fast man has to do something first, not the float man.
They don't have to.
The
You
float man,
choose to.
You're such a fuck.
he's putting you in more and more of a corner, and you're gonna have to do something.
You're
and
saying Samus is putting.
I'm
you
saying
in
you're the
corner.
one cutting the wire.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Fox is honest?
A lot about
No.
him is, but a lot
No.
about him isn't.
No, I don't
How
think
hard
Fox
is
is
up
honest.
smash hits in NTSC is
You-
pretty
You're
dishonest.
literally taking the ledge, one of the most disadvantaged positions for any character in the game, and turning it into an advantage.
It's
That
only
is
advantage
not
so
an
far.
honest
It's only
character.
advantage so far. You know, you can play around that. It's a
How so?
readable, beatable option.
No, if I force you, there are fucking Foxes who take the ledge for an advantage. That is fucked
No,
up.
I know, but what I'm saying is that can only get them so far. Like only so much stage, and they still have to fight against you.
But you have to
and
They
respect
don't
it
have to
regardless.
fight anything. I have to give up that part of the
Yeah.
stage,
Yeah,
and
you
then they
do,
just
you
get
do.
back in.
You have to give up about that much.
And so
yeah.
what they're hoping is that I challenge it, and then they get a free hit off of it. Well, not free. They still got to earn it through their tech skill, but they're hoping that I challenge it. And then if I
Do you
choose, so my only challenge is to not challenge it.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
just
that's a
move to
spot
the
where you
middle.
have to give it
I'm
up.
like, all right,
But
come
like
back in.
that's like Jigglypuff's
And then you
back
have
air. That's
Mewtwo King
Jigglypuff's back air.
camping the
You
ledge, saying that Westballs is camping the stage, and that's why he doesn't get off the ledge. It's like,
camping this stage. He's existing.
yeah.
But then you've got characters like Puff, where it's pretty much been figured out over 15 years of gameplay that her back air in a lot of spots isn't challengeable. Like you
Yeah.
have to punish her for space, or you have to punish her in another way. Like it's not only Fox who has moves. Mast's fade back forward air, pretty much unpunishable. because you can do fade back double fair as the mix up. It's like a very difficult. The
Is it
punish
actually not punishable?
It-
Nah, he's slow.
It's punishable.
fade back fair is like very difficult to punish
But
if he
you're
does it
thinking
perfectly.
you're thinking in Fox terms. You're
Yeah.
thinking punishable in terms
That's
of
the
how
only
can I
terms
could-
that matter to
how
him.
can I immediately hit the Marth when he
You don't
does
get
a
to. No,
fade back
what I'm
fair?
saying is you get to take
Or
the space.
you don't think in terms of position. You don't think in terms of like forcing a situation.
Yeah,
When
you-
I see a Marth fade back fair, I'm thinking I've got him in a certain position. I've got him shielding if I manage to challenge their
yeah,
landing.
you get to move
and
forward.
that's an advantage.
Samus is
yeah.
a tank who's like taking position and then forcing something near the ledge.
Yeah.
a lot
So
of
I'm
the
not
time.
always chump checking. Sometimes I'm playing.
Against
sometimes I'm
what I'm
playing
saying
the
is
game.
against a float man, fast man,
Figuring out a way.
float man, fast man. Usually the last stock situation comes down to either a mix up and fast man wins or a chump check and fast man loses, regardless of which fast man and which float man that is.
Fast man? Is this an Australian term? I've literally.
Fast man,
no.
Captain Falcon, Falco, Fox.
Oh, okay, okay.
Those are fast guys. And then the floaty guys usually are either getting executed on with a mix up and losing,
Yeah.
like shielding at the wrong time and getting grab up their up head, or they're
Which
catching,
is-
catching that mix up and kind of chump
Which is
checking.
why you have this weird dynamic in Melee where the fast players or whatever, they literally think all the floaty mains are shitty. And then the
And the
floaty,
floaty
mains,
mains-
when they win off of them fucking up, they literally don't apologize for it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I beat a Spacey and they're just bitching about how God they're so
Well, that's the game.
so
Making
dumb.
mistakes
Like,
is.
I'm gonna give you an example here, and I don't mean to call this out, but at Dreamland, I ended up beating. I love Drug Fox, and he's actually given me some lessons. He's been great, but he was a little salty.
Oh, you
at
got the
that
lessons?
point.
I heard they were booked up.
Huh?
I heard the lessons.
Yeah,
were
no,
massive
they're hella
booked up.
booked up, and he's been amazing, by the way. Anyone who wants a lesson should get one from Drug Fox. But at Dreamland, after I had beat him at Dreamland, I go out and I'm starting to practice for Marth because I have PPU next, and he's standing next to me, and he didn't know that he was standing next to me, and he was bitching about the match. He's like, "God damn it, I fucking lost to Hugs." Like, he fucking F-tilts like 12 times. Like, I'm not going to know he's going to fucking F-tilt, but I know he's going to fucking F-tilt, and then he thinks he's good because he F-tilted me. And I'm like sitting there just cracking up.
He's
I'm
calling
like,
you Unga Bunga man.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, he's not wrong, but I'm not gonna. I don't apologize because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand the way that our characters.
But it's just
work.
the dichotomy of Melee is like, Fox must make mistakes to lose, obviously, being the character with the most options. And sometimes, like,
That's
that,
the character you chose. I'm not gonna lie. I literally play Samus because I know that I'm susceptible to making mistakes. So I want a character that kind of
air
gives
dodge
me
off
that
the
kind of
stage.
room.
That's fine. Just get the
I
grapple.
want chances to live. I want chances to survive.
That's
I want
fine.
chances to
And
come
you know,
back.
you know what? If you're somebody who likes
I don't
neutral
want to
interactions,
deal with perfect execution.
yeah, yeah.
That's not what the kind of player I am.
And if you want to put somebody in enough neutral spots and you feel like you can win 30 or 40 out of 50 of those, you know, that's a good character to be doing it with. Like, a lot of neutral interactions, you can kind of beat somebody down and get.
That is why.
That's why Puff kind of beats Samus, because she just over and over again.
Because I don't have that kind of advantage on her.
Yeah, she
But
can just do that to you.
that is also why I literally rarely worry about first round pools. Is because
You're such
in
a hard
order
player to beat.
In order to beat me, my character, you have to win multiple neutral interactions,
Yeah.
and neutral is the sign of a very good player.
can't
so
cheat.
if you are not a
You
very
can't
good
cheat,
player,
yeah.
you're not going to beat me.
Yeah.
You're not going to cheese me. You're not going to do anything
That's
like
that's
that.
what
So I'm
whenever
just
kids are
gonna
like,
wait.
oh, I'm playing. I saw Spot. I think was supposed to play you at Evo, but the brackets didn't work out. I think if he beat Kels, he would have played you, but
Yeah.
he lost to Kels and then lost to shootout and loses.
Yeah, Genesis. Yeah.
Genesis, yeah. And I was really cursing the bracket because I was like, he's just never played a Samus like this. And having played you, I was like, I would rather him play any other top 50 player, because beating Hugo on the first try is like.
I would have messed
It's
him
like
up.
Dark Souls, you know. It's like you're not going to beat the
Yeah.
boss on the first try. Nobody's
And
doing
Spud's hella good.
He's
but I would've
really
beaten
good.
him.
You would have fucked
I
him
would have
up.
beaten him. Yeah.
And nobody walks into those bosses in Dark Souls and gets them first try, unless they're the shitty weird ones. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Pinwheel.
you're not the person I want him to play for that exact reason.
Yeah. No, not gonna work out.
I had a also question, but I forgot it. It doesn't matter now. Should we segue into chat questions?
Remember the time
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Australia when
Let's do it.
you're in the car and Lucky and stuff were just like, you fucking idiot floaty man, like you could never do even a wave shine with Fox, and you're like, I could do 10 wave shines. And they
Did
were
I
trying
say
to
that?
bet you money on how many you'd be able to do.
Oops. Yeah, I probably can't. Yeah.
All right, hit that yeet, boys.
But isn't it cool though that there's so many lenses to play the game from?
No, I think it's great, and I think that a lot of spaceys tend to think that there's only one lens to
Well,
play
because
from, and I think they're
it's easy to feel like Fox is the main character.
I
Yeah.
think complaining at this point, if you like play the game for a year and you're still complaining about like how the game is, fucking dip.
I'm not
Like-
complaining about how the game is so much as like I've accepted all of the
There's
way that the
different
game
ways to play it.
acts out, but then I'll say things like this guy's a chump checker or this guy's a cheeser or whatever. And it's not that
Fuck
it's not that I
ICs.
haven't accepted that those things exist. It's just that I don't like them, and I'm being vocal about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I guess. It's also funny to hear that like even at the top level with like Drugged Fox and you and all these people, they're still being like, fucking, all he did was fucking.
And look, I actually feel a little bad that I even said that.
No, it's fine.
Because like saltiness happens. I've
Yeah.
had my moment. Do you know about Dan Salvato? My
yeah.
beef with him.
No, I
Really?
didn't hear
Because
that beef.
he so he's the guy who created Doki Doki Literature Club,
Mhm.
Yep.
and he's a melee player who went by the tag Internet Explorer.
Also made 20XX, correct?
Yes, also made 20XX. So just
Legend.
awesome dude. He's a legend. And at Apex 2012, I played him in a friendly or a money match, and I ended up losing. And then
He's a Link main, right?
He's a Link main,
Oof.
yeah.
Big Link.
And then
Big Link.
Big Link,
My
yeah.
favorite Link.
Big Link.
And then I'm playing friendlies on a TV, and then Mango walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, dude? How you feeling?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I just lost some fucker named Internet Explorer," and I didn't notice that he was sitting literally right next to me.
Oh yeah.
And I see him, I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then I look at Mango, I'm like, "Yeah, that's him right there." And he looks at me too, so he totally heard the whole thing. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I was just kidding, man. I'm sorry."
No, you gotta stand
I'm
by
like,
that shit.
no,
You
no,
gotta look at it and be like,
I'm
yeah,
like,
you.
Yeah, no. I'm like, yeah, no, I was just a little salty, dude. You know, I don't think you're a shit player. You're pretty good, whatever. And
It is lame to call
And,
somebody
like-
a shit player after you
yeah,
lose.
but like later, I realized that he just never followed me on Twitter. And then someone asked me, it's like, because I wasn't following him back, and I was on stream, and they just saw that because I was playing Doki Doki. He's like, "Why don't you follow Dan Salvato on Twitter?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't think he likes me, dude. I think," and I told the story, and someone ended up telling him, so he came to my chat. He's like, "Wait, we had beef?" I'm like, "Yeah, this," and he's like, "Oh, I remember that. I actually picked the tag Internet Explorer because I thought it'd be really funny if a good player ever lost to me using that tag."
That's
I'm like,
really
it,
funny.
It worked, yeah.
What if you just came in and chat and it's like, yeah, stay down, bitch.
Yeah, no, that would have been great. Actually.
I remember this
I would have
beef
hit the
to
follow
the day.
button, like follow button right away. But yeah.
What's the saltiest you've ever been, and what's the happiest you've ever been at a win? Like saltiest loss, happiest win.
Saltiest loss when I lost to Pac-Man at pound 4 because
Who's
I was just starting
Pac-Man?
to come back.
He's
He's
a
a Luigi
Luigi.
from the East Coast, and that's the first time I never made a top 32 bracket.
Okay.
And this
At-
is
at
after
a big major.
this is after I was expected to make top 10 there, because at that point I was considered second in SoCal after my return, so I was ahead of like people like Lucky Zoo who were top 10 in the world roughly. So I was ranked ahead of them
what
in
was
my
this,
own
like,
region.
2010.
2011.
Okay.
Yeah, and I lost to him, so I didn't make top 32. Punched the table, hurt my hand. That's the only time
Did you
it's
tell
ever
this
happened.
story where like I
The
think you've
shootout
told it
one
before?
was not as bad as that. The
That
shootout
wasn't
loss.
salty. I was literally crying.
Didn't
in
someone,
Yeah,
the
no,
like,
but isn't
corner.
that that's what I mean? Like
That's
the
not
hardest
salty.
one to take.
That's the hardest
That's
one
the
to
hardest?
take. Yeah, but it wasn't the saltiest.
Didn't someone
What's the
clap at the
happiest?
Pac-Man?
Yeah, it was
Well-
Kevin's son. It
Oh,
was from
okay,
NorCal.
yeah.
You remember?
I remember everything, dude. He was clapping, and then like Bobak, I was like, "Yo, come on, chill out, dude. He's right here." Because he killed me with a misfire, and then he was like, he was fucking cracking up, and then Bobak's like, "Dude, not now."
Trying to save his friend from getting punched.
Yeah.
Chad asked, fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill between you three.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the axe, dude. I feel it.
I'd fuck Dawson, honestly. Dawson's
You
a
can't-
I
good
would fuck Matt.
guy. Holy Matt.
I would.
Get that say
You
that.
can't.
Get
You
that.
can't say that. You can't.
You heard him. He's done for the day. He's gonna throw up.
I would kill you, marry Slime.
Why'd you kill
I
him?
feel like that's the play.
So we would just fight. Like
Yeah.
no, like we wouldn't like I love this guy, and because we're not married, we have good conversation. Whereas him, we could talk about comedy and like we
You
just
marry
live together
Miles,
for a
and he's
while.
calling you a chump checker when you fuck up his breakfast.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? He would just get pissed off at the breakfast. Yeah.
I wouldn't get
So,
pissed off at the
fucking
breakfast.
floating.
I would love the breakfast, Hugo. We can trial that if you'd like. I could come around.
Are these
stay the
chat
night.
questions or is this just
This
your
is chat
personal?
questions.
Or
Also,
are you just
don't
looking through your notes?
ever call me Matt again.
Wait, why
That's
can't
not
I?
okay on the show.
That's-
Why?
It's
No.
not okay just in general.
What am I supposed to call him?
Dawson.
Dawson.
Just Dawson.
That's his name.
Everyone is called.
Goddamned tournaments have you gone to where someone was
why
like,
why
"Hey
not? Why
Matt,
can't I
who
go?
do
You
I
gotta-
play
You're gonna
next?"
pass now.
Okay.
But we're gonna have a talk after.
Okay.
Thoughts on Mega Christmas as a player? Whole couch question. I feel like this is appropriate just because he.
It's a good question.
I said it before. So the reason that's a question is because he beat me at
Yeah.
the Mango.
But we're
But I
also really
said-
big fans. We're a big
No,
Noah
I
fans
said
at
it
the
right
table.
before that he's probably the best up and comer out of SoCal. So like I already acknowledged that he was really good and he was going to get really good. I didn't expect him to beat me, but he beat me. But
Do
I
you,
think
get-
it's-
are you on the train where it's like, oh, it was the mango, bro? I was having a few.
No, I am, and I'm not. So like, I was definitely trying when I lost him. So he beat me fair and square.
Yeah.
But afterward, the whole tournament just kind of got excused. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
sure, man, I'll take it.
How do you
But like
feel
that's
about
why
that?
I was so upset with the SFAT set with the whole commentary situation, because I was trying to make up for that loss by making it into the top 8. And like honestly, if I made it into top 8, I probably could have either won or gotten second at least. But like I had a run to make. And when SFAT stopped me and it was game 5 and like people were like commentators were yelling, I was
Fuck
pissed.
you, fuck you.
'Cause I was
You
trying to
keep
make up for
saying
it.
people. You keep saying
was
people.
literally-
It was one
it was
fucking
Vish.
person.
It was Vish.
I was
It was
so
Vish.
mad at that because I was like, "Let's
Is he
go,
your-
Hugo."
Is he your
I was
homie or
trying.
something?
I was
Huh?
Is he your homie?
No, he's a great homie.
Yeah. Then
I
why don't
actually
you, why don't
completely
you just
forget
call him out specifically?
Why don't I?
I was
Yeah.
trying to balance the
'Cause
shit.
He fucked
he's
you
already,
up.
No, because he's already been called out enough where I'm starting to feel bad in it.
Well, you're still
and he's
angry
starting
about
to
it,
feel
obviously.
uncomfortable. No, I'm not.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I'm just trying to explain how I was thinking about it at the time. I'm literally not angry.
Okay, so you're
about
just
it
trying
anymore.
to not say his
Yeah.
name in terms of.
I
like-
was on the
Yeah.
couch.
But
Hugo.
but I also, you guys were
doesn't care.
still loud, but it's not as big a deal as him.
What is the difference between being in pools and people yelling for their boy?
The difference is you don't expect it from the commentators. That's the difference. You
Yeah,
expect it from the crowd.
And
so
also,
when I go
it
up
was
there,
like a.
so here's
attack,
the
like a reverse
example.
comedy.
Here's the example I gave to SFAT, right? Because as top players, you're expected to just deal with whatever happens. You're supposed to be good enough to deal with it. And I told SFAT, I'm like, just imagine you go up there to play me, then your ex-girlfriend goes on stage and just starts banging, just banging a new dude right in front of you.
That's what it's like.
Are you gonna play great? And he goes, no, probably not. I'm like, yeah. Like you don't see that coming, and it just happens. What are you gonna do?
He's
are
like-
you just gonna play your
He's like,
best?
I'm gonna play better, bro.
right.
I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show them both what a winner looks like.
yeah, no, he's gonna get fucked up in the head, right? And so that's the same thing that happened here, because I didn't expect the commentators, professional commentators, that were probably paid.
Absolutely not paid.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. This is melee, bro. I still haven't gotten paid from Genesis commentary, and other people have. It's fucked up.
Oh shit. Well, either way, like I don't expect it from commentators when I'm going on the stage.
That's
So
fair. I didn't think
it's
about
pretty
it that
much.
way. Yeah, I'm
It's
with
pretty
that.
much who am I expecting it from? Simple as that. Like, so if Mike Hayes starts cheering against me against someone, I'm gonna be very surprised by it because I don't expect.
What if it became melee became like basketball and there was like a designated fucking screamer? You know, like basketball, like you have to
Yeah,
psych
yeah.
them out.
That'd be horrible. That'd be so
That'd be
shit.
pretty-
No,
I
it'd be
mean-
insane. It'd be
I
not
mean-
chill. But so if you were like went into a match like, oh yeah, he's gonna try to psych me out. I'm just gonna try to play.
Yeah, it'd be different. If I knew there was a designated psycher outer, then I'd be totally fine.
The
I'd be
damage
ready.
is that it's a
But I
friend
just
doing
wasn't.
it, right?
That it was a not just a well in
someone
this
like
If
particular
it's a
actively-
case.
nameless
Sorry,
gym,
man.
like
What if it was
yelling at
4
the stage-
compas?
In this particular case, I wasn't like super. It wasn't so much that it was a friend thing; it was that it was commentators.
Okay.
That's it.
Fair
because they
enough.
were close, and I just don't expect that from commentators.
But the friend thing kind of hits the same nerve, right?
It would, yeah,
that
but
jarring feeling.
yeah, but like it's
I'm sure it wasn't serious. Like
no, it
Bish
wasn't
was
serious.
just on
yeah,
one.
it wasn't
Yeah.
serious. It'd
He
be
was
more if
off
it was
that
like
goop.
it'd be more if it was like
He's
Mike
off- he
Hayes
was
or my
definitely off the
brother or
goop.
something. That'd be like weird.
Yeah, that would your own brother choose against you.
Yeah, that'd be hella weird.
That'd be sucky.
And some people do that. I see them do that to their friends. I'm like, damn, this is fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it's two homies, two of your good friends playing, keep quiet, right?
That's the rule.
Yeah.
That should be the rule.
Also,
whenever-
when
yeah.
you watch your friend play and he loses, disperse, no eye contact.
none,
Get away.
I don't
literally
mind the
just
eye
get
contact,
away.
but just
Yeah.
don't say
No,
shit.
yeah, you don't
Don't
say
say
shit.
anything.
I disperse. I exit the scene.
So like if Lucky and Mike Hayes were playing, I would literally just be quiet. I just wouldn't say shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cheer for anyone. Mango Lucky, Mango Mike Hayes. I just don't say shit.
Mango Duck.
Get him, Mango.
I might be quiet there. No, I might be quiet there because Ducks are friends. So
Yeah. By the way,
Mike. I might cheer, but I'm more quiet there because I know that Mango is the favorite. So there's no reason to cheer for Mango there. I might cheer for Mike.
doesn't
yeah,
need to
I guess the vote doesn't count, does
but it won't be super loud. Yeah, there's situations.
Not in
right?
California.
Yeah.
It still goes blue, doesn't it?
But I would fully expect him to cheer for Kalindi against me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mango's just a chaos emerald. in
You're a bit of a
general.
top 8 connoisseur, though. I always see pictures of you in top 8s, like either cheering or like watching.
No, I love
intently.
watching top 8. Dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm a good guy to watch top 8 with, dude.
Certain
Like,
someone
I'll-
got a lot of flack on
comment on
Twitter for watching top 8.
Oh, that was
with you.
ridiculous. No, because she got called out for social climbing for sitting in the front during top 8.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. There was no seat. And she's like, oh, my God, you watching this? I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you could just grab a chair and just pull it up. Like, it was literally, I was just saying, like, you could just grab a chair. It's no big deal.
You said pull up to
Yeah.
the trap.
I didn't say pull up to the trap.
That's what I would have said.
But, like, it was just like kind of like, there's not a seat. And I was like, yeah, just grab one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sat down. And then now she's social
Gets
climbing, I
roasted, yeah.
guess. Yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
Drug Fox went into bat on that one. I saw.
And that's a shame, too, because I think Drug Fox is one of the most reasonable and calm
He
people.
is, and
It's not a good look to be, like, yelling at him and arguing
But
with him.
a problem
in
with
my
these,
honest opinion.
with these conversations is they're often more about how we feel than the actual material that anyone's putting forward. And I think
Yeah.
like Drug Fox said something and then just kind of got his character attacked a lot,
Yeah.
which
I
takes
completely disagree
away
with that, yeah.
away from the point that the initial tweet was kind of not
100%
necessary
agree.
at all. And like
100%
say
agree.
even if somebody is socially doing whatever in Melee, how is that important to point it out? It's like, hey, there's a cute girl and she won't go out with me, and she's like, yeah, I wouldn't. And you're like, did I?
You're
need
like,
to
what
say-
the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's like that one kid in high school who's just like, you just don't like me because I'm ugly and I'm not funny. And if someone's like, you didn't need to say that, but yeah. It's like that tweet
Okay,
could have,
s-
if that person had more social awareness, that tweet goes without saying, even if it's true.
Who?
Whoever made that tweet, I don't even
The
know what
guy
his
that
name
was
was.
like saying all
Shitting
that
on,
stupid shit.
on that girl,
Yeah,
Aris.
Yeah.
Even if that is all true, making that tweet
Well-
serves no purpose.
Yeah, well, the point. First of all, it's not true because what they're kind of doing is they're crediting all her success to her gender, which is completely false.
I don't know what
What
she's
all- Yeah,
successful
for
at.
one, what?
No,
for a
she's
start.
she's successful at, like, let's say making friends with top players, right? But that has
Okay.
more to do with her personality, right? Because there are other people who talk to me that I don't make friends with because
I
I,
feel like-
don't find them as pleasant to be around. I find her more pleasant to be around because she's entertaining, she's funny, and she's also like during Full Bloom specifically. She asked me if I needed someone to help me out during the tournament. I said yes. She's helping out Swedish Delight and me. So she like provided me with like green tea right before the tournament started. She found me a practice partner, Falco.
And
right
if that
before
was
the tournament
a big
had
fan of yours, you'd react the same way.
yeah.
If that's
I
me
would.
doing that, you'd be.
Yeah, if
just-
you were actually willing to do that and you said that, but specifically you because I know you already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if she was a complete stranger, she said that, I'd be like, I literally don't know you, I don't trust you. I
So
don't know.
you guys had a
Whatever,
rapport,
I
and that's
had
what it was
already-
built off.
I had already met her at a couple tournaments
yeah.
before, and then she offered this, and then not only that, but she also said she'd been doing it for Swedish already, and Swedish still has her helping him out. I'm like, yeah, if Swedish trusts you, and I know you, and all that.
But even
I
if
could
that,
definitely use
like,
that. Let's do it.
whether that is social climbing or not, that's irrelevant, really.
And it wouldn't be social climbing because she's actually doing something that I find very useful. But it is kind of irrelevant because
And that's why like my point was that a man made a pretty irrelevant tweet, whether it's true or not,
Yeah.
is another issue, and like whether that's even wrong or not is another issue.
yeah.
And then Drug Fox kind of went into bat with an opinion, and a whole lot of people who are very big
Yeah.
on these kind of issues within the scene, I feel like we're just ready to strawman kind of whoever stepped in. Like,
Yeah, and that's a problem because so Drug Fox didn't make a great point. He essentially
Twitter's
he
not a
was
great
saying,
platform for that.
No, and essentially he was saying that if we want to make some change, we got to address these people with less hostility. That's his point. And he didn't have an awful point because people were being hostile towards this guy, even though he deserved it, but they were being hostile, and that was his point.
This guy just thinks he's being real, and we shouldn't have
Yeah.
any topics that people feel like they can't talk about. Is that Drug Fox's point?
No. Drug Fox's point was this guy is fucked up, but you should address him without hostility to kind of convince him to be
Yeah.
a better person.
Yeah. Okay.
roughly.
That's fair.
And it's not a crazy point, but it's not a point that needs to be made at this point because this guy was kind of just a dick.
I feel like
So
it
you're
does
kind
need
of-
to be
it's-
said within the Smash scene, though, that we should talk about everything.
It could be. Yeah. So, like, with him coming in, I don't see an issue with that. And I don't see an issue with reasoning him with saying, look, you can't just come in with that because it kind of takes away the value of the initial points of this guy being a piece of shit. But you could talk to Drug Fox about that. You don't need to attack Drug Fox into that.
Yeah.
He's a reasonable person. So then when people attack him, then it kind of makes this whole thing look really bad because he's a reasonable. I remember
It's
there was
called
one
playing
time.
He's one of the
mud.
most reasonable people I've ever
One
met.
of the most reasonable people I know. And it reminds me of the time when Duck got attacked. Same thing. Like a lot of girls got on his case for something he
It's-
said.
it
and I'm
kinda
like,
feels like a
Duck,
witch hunt,
Duck
right?
is the most like reasonable, innocent person and like on your side kind of guy on the planet. Please, this actually makes things look worse if you're attacking someone like him.
And these are the last people you want to alienate, right?
I agree. Yeah. Hard to say it though. So like I just stay out of it. 'cause
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
wanna- I just don't want to deal
It-
with it.
I
it
think
becomes about how people feel about certain broader issues rather
Yeah.
than melee. or
I
anything to
see
do
their
with it.
point, but it's not. It's honestly just not a good look to be attacking him, and it's not a good look for him to be coming in and saying that kind of shit.
It
But
sucks though that like
When
that
these
has
two
to
people
be-
come into play, they could talk about it and just keep it calm and keep it cool. But people, it doesn't always work that way.
I think the takeaway is that Twitter is like this fucking degenerate wasteland where like real discourse just doesn't kind of happen.
Yeah.
And to ever expect that it should.
I feel like if it took place in DMs, it would have been way different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just Twitter is so fucked.
So I
man.
just
Everybody's
stay- I
trying to
just stay
write
out
the
of it a
most
lot.
right-seeming and concise thing they can instead
Yeah.
of actually trying to come to a resolution.
Because you have a character. It's like
It's a coliseum.
Even
I'm gonna be
for-
real.
even
I
for,
pick,
like,
I pick my
humor-
battles. I just pick my battles where I know I can't be
You'd
wrong.
be
and
dumb
then-
not to, right?
And then if I feel like there could be an argument, I'm just like, I'm just not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Especially on issues of like gender and social issues within melee. It's like
Yeah.
you almost it's a no-win
It's scary.
situation to talk about that stuff on Twitter.
It could be scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Let me see if we got any more. We're hitting 3
I also
hours,
feel
which
like-
are
Oh,
two
shit, I'm
actual.
sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's
Yeah.
two actual hours. But
2 Hugo Plus hours.
We're hitting a Hugo 3 hours.
would you rather? I'm assuming this is for you and Miles.
I
Would
feel
you
like
rather
this-
give up beer for your whole life but have a bigger dick? I feel like we covered this. Or give up oral for the rest of your life but always
What?
get top 8 at tournaments? It's one of the worst.
This is such a bad question,
Questions
but
I've
I like
ever-
it because it's so bad.
This is so
So what do you
bad.
got, brother?
This is shit post. Wait,
G-
what was it?
Gun to your head.
What was
Rather
it?
give up beer for your whole life but have a fucking hog, or give
Hog?
up.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
like a huge
okay,
dick.
Give
okay.
up. I
Uh,
assume getting beaches for the rest of your life, but always get top 8 at tournaments.
Well, I take a huge jump getting top 8
These are both stupid.
because you can already make top 8s. You can
Wait, give up making top 8s.
No,
And
you
have a
get
huge-
top 8.
always get top 8.
I
Always
like
get
how
top 8,
it's
but
not
you
the
But give up-
reverse.
you
give
give
up
up
beaches.
beaches,
Beach.
or you give up beer your whole life and have a bigger.
There's like
peen?
4 different things
That's the.
instead
I
of
think-
just like
okay,
one
Oh
so-
no,
or the
guys,
other.
guys! He's high as fuck. LOL.
Me?
No, the
That
guy
makes this
asked that question.
question even better,
he's-
dude.
okay.
No, it's chill, dude. He's
I would-
high,
okay,
bro.
so-
Just suited.
420,
so,
bro.
So I would choose the first option because I just think it'd be healthier to just not
Drink.
have drinks. Yeah. And then I just get just like a big dick just as a bonus. Like,
Dude,
that's
drugs is so
dope.
sick.
Yeah. But
I
This
think
is
I'm
it's the
drinking
worst
beer,
question I've
boys.
ever
I'm
heard.
keeping my dick size. I'm
Yeah.
drinking beer.
Oh, do you know this person going on a journey?
Top 8s.
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's her.
She asked
And
that.
she's high, dude. Ha!
Top 8s or BJs?
That's ridiculous. Huh?
Top 8s or BJs?
Gun to your head, homie.
I think it's BJs for life.
BJs.
Really?
Yeah.
You're okay with 9th place for the suck?
See, for you, it's like you could still
The
pick.
funny thing is, I want you to ask this to someone like Armada or Leffen. I want to see
like-
how.
Ninth has been
How
a spot
certain
for
they
a
would
bit.
be. Like,
Absolutely,
how soon,
top
like-
8s is
like they
what I
just-
want
yeah,
to
yeah,
have.
they
But the
wouldn't
thing
even
is,
have
he's
it.
making top 8 without
Like,
giving
they
it up.
wouldn't even- They're probably already doing it, dude. Like just
Yeah.
like this is
Well,
what
it
takes.
implies that you are no longer able to get top 8s anymore.
Ever.
That's the implication.
Well,
Well, it implies that you're actually prevented from making it.
Yeah, like
just will
ninth,
not.
ninth is your cap.
but you can still get BJs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm taking that because I'm never making top 8 anyway at a super major.
Yeah.
Like,
But
That's
I,
not with that
I
attitude,
could get
brother.
in there and I want
But
to.
can I-
but
as soon as I have the ability, I'm double backing though, and I'm saying, thanks for all the BJs. Time to.
I need to. My people need me.
If it's a switch,
it's a toggle.
it's a 1 year toggle. If it was a 1 year toggle,
You're just-
I would be like, I'm thinking top 8s this year, and then I'd be like,
2018 is looking
off
like
year,
a top 18
BJ
year. Yeah.
pull the giant crank. Just,
2019. Do we have a real question from the chat?
I don't
high as fuck.
think
LOL.
so. This guy says dick size is next to irrelevant in your life.
What is that?
I'm just saying, it's like, I mean, there's
Undercompensating
only one type of person that says
or
that. Am I right,
overcompensating?
brother? Kidding. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everyone is beautiful. Westfall says he would easily choose top 8s.
Oh, he's
Not
in there.
top,
He
but
said
top 8s.
He would easily choose top 8s
Yeah.
over.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Ludwig says, I think if you couldn't get blowies, you could get your ass eaten more, which is true.
That's such a
I mean,
weird.
it's a different sensation.
I feel like it's a
So,
different
I don't know.
thing to be okay with as well for
Yeah.
the girl.
It's like it's not so much that like I would immediately miss it. It's just like I would start to think after a couple years, fuck man, just one more time.
Yeah, that's what everyone
Just
would
one
think.
more time. Like I don't need. I probably don't need. Like just give me one in 5 years, then another one in 10 years, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I know it's gonna happen.
If you can still
To
have,
know it's never gonna happen, that's what fucks me up.
it's like, is this the last time? Knowing something's
Yeah.
the last time is fucked
Yeah,
up,
it's
huh?
fucked up. It's
Yeah,
literally like
it's
knowing
fucked
you got
up.
a couple days left to live.
You know,
Like,
everyone
this
has
is
a lot
it.
of
Yeah.
last cigarettes. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like before you press the button on this, you'd have a lot
I've
of
had a
last.
lot of lost
So,
ones.
I got a last BG.
That's
The
one-
last one would just be so sad as well.
Yeah, so
You'd be
you're just
crying.
the whole
Well,
time.
those are all of mine, so it's fine. But Hugo, why didn't you party with Vish?
That's why West isn't getting top 8 anymore.
He didn't
dude.
invite me.
So that's fucked up.
He literally didn't tell me. I to be fair, I wouldn't have gone because I'm not into the whole rave scene.
Maybe that's why I didn't invite you.
No, that's probably why.
Maybe he was
Fucker.
afraid he'd be
But
like 2 hours late.
You don't get to call
Everyone's
me out.
already fucking
Yeah.
rolled out of their brains and like, where is he, bro? You just show up with King Taco.
The lights are,
Fucking
the
eat
lights
a
are coming
tamale.
up, the music
I
stops.
I saw very funny evidence of people that shall not be named in that scenario.
I
It was
also saw this
hilarious. You
evidence.
saw-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very.
It's fucking hilarious.
There's some good tapes.
Yeah, it's some very good tapes. And I'm just gonna say I would not have fit in to this situation.
Are you not a dancer?
I just wouldn't be just fucking. I wouldn't be with my shirt off.
I feel like
just-
you're already there.
You're doing it, dude.
You have
Get it
you have
off.
the H on your chest from Evo as an
I just-
homage.
I write hugs on my own chest and just this would not be me, dude. I
You
just
glow
would
in the
not
dark
be,
paint.
and just it's just not me. So I wouldn't have fit into Vicious Party anyway.
Who hates Puff the least on the table?
Dawson.
I think it's me. I really don't give it. I actually love the game so much that I don't even fucking like Chic Up Tilt. Sure, I
you
get
hate
mad
it.
at it.
I only
like-
hate. I only dislike certain matchups because I know they're not going to be entertaining,
Yeah.
and I only hate when Puffs choose to play in a really shitty way.
But I
like,
think that's
I
the best
didn't
way for her
like-
to play, though.
No, that's fine. But I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like the way Hungrybox played against Chew at DreamHack.
I remember.
But
that.
I've rarely had a problem with the way Hungrybox played. I could only think of 2 times. It's against Chudat and against Mango at Evo 2015.
That
where he
shootout set
camped
was
the ledge.
really, really a slog.
And it was kind of like, well, I don't want to get wobbled, but I'm just thinking your character has the tools to deal
Not get
with
To
all
not
that.
get
Actually,
wobbled.
that's the strat.
So,
in
like,
the first set, he
you
lost
made
the
it
first
easier,
set.
but I don't think it's.
He lost
I
the
just don't
first
like
set at that tournament, and then he was like, "Okay, real strategies." He tried to play.
His true
DreamHack?
self came out.
Yeah.
DreamHack?
Yeah, at DreamHack Austin, I remember
Oh, he
watching
went
this.
into losers.
Chu won the first set of grands, and he was interacting with him a lot and fighting, and he was catching wobbles. And then the second set, he was like,
Fuck it.
"You have not seen my true power."
It's
level."
like you beat
and just went to the
Lavos
top
and then you
layer.
go into the
Top level.
core and you
Uh,
have to beat the
yeah.
Lavos core, and it's just a planking
Puff
buff.
Yeah.
Puff Ices, I've always said like
Just stay on
But
top
even
flat.
then, I didn't necessarily say that he was shitty for what he did. I just said, like, I went on Twitter and I said, I don't like watching this match, and then people were like, "That's fucked up." I'm like, no, I literally just don't fucking
it's
want to
the
watch
most
it.
degenerate way.
I'm
to
allowed
play.
to not enjoy
At the same time, though,
match.
that's his job, right? And he cashed the
Yeah.
check. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I don't dislike Puff. I think she's a good character, and I think that Fox plays a really fun matchup with her.
Yeah, I actually
I
like
would-
watching Fox.
I would
Buff do it.
disagree.
This is
So
a
maybe
good.
you're not the least.
I love Puff. I hate the way
Fox
I
has to play.
get soft nair up smash.
This is a good
for no reason.
this is a good
Shooting's actually so dangerous.
Dawson question is
agree.
what's
You can fuck
the
up your tech.
what's the like the
no,
most
no, I mean like you get put in a corner. It's like stage for
true, true,
percent.
true.
what's the most extreme measure you've done to track down someone for a set as a TO? And also, how late has Hugo been to a set?
Hugo's pretty good. Johnny, on the other hand.
So I
Okay.
knew he was full of shit.
No,
when he was
okay.
talking about me being late here.
Hugo has asked me
I'm
though.
Did you lie for the bit?
No,
I tell you because
He
I'm gonna
tells me.
be like 5 to 10 minutes
You,
late.
you
and I
said
just
you were
don't
gonna be a
wanna
little
risk
bit
it.
late here too.
No,
That's
this
all
is
I'm
the
saying.
only time it was different.
A few minutes. Okay. Hugo is really good about telling me when he's gonna be late, like which is always a good courtesy. And pretty much when he's at a tournament, he's very focused and like ready to like get his shit done. Other players get lost in the parking lot in the laboratory.
The
in their
laboratory
cars.
claims a lot of young men.
They're off that
And
weed.
sometimes they lose so much time in their head that they've been gone for 20 minutes and they're like, dude, it was just 5.
Yeah, time moves differently in the laboratory.
Yeah. And then they're like, it's only like a 30-man local, and it's like
There's
an
like
80-man
80 people
local,
here.
and I have to run
And
tournament
it's like
fast.
12 a.m.
There's
Yeah.
a part of our brain that understands the passage of time, and I think dabbing sort of just gets in there and just kind of like.
Yeah, I've gone.
Yeah.
I've gone through like peeked into car windows until it got like way too weird. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I just have to hold the L.
My favorite pastime would be finding cars in Smash tournaments with a bunch of Smashers in it with the windows rolled down.
Yeah.
I would just like pound on the door
And Coney's just like, ah!
and then ask them like, "Are you guys praying?"
Yeah.
Say, yeah.
Well, good thing about SoCal is they just like to pray outside.
Yeah.
With the car doors open, and they're just.
Yeah. It's all one big safety meeting.
And sometimes I have to like pull
guys
them, and
praying
they're
yet?
still praying as they're walking to the tournament, and they just can't stop.
Some of them had the mobile prayer devices in which
Yeah,
they can.
I like those because they just walk outside,
The
quick
electronic.
pray, and then
Yeah.
they come back in. But the manual pray, when they're actually like running and
Yeah.
like praying, they have to get to their 40-minute late set.
When they have the water pray in the car,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
really,
the
really
water Bible.
It's a lot. The water prayer machine.
sometimes they have to go pick up a Bible during tournament and then come back.
That's
Yeah.
really bad.
It's rough.
They're dedicated, man. Yeah.
So I think we should wrap. It's been a hot one.
Yeah.
Hugs, thanks for coming, I guess, but
Yeah.
you really.
I feel like I made up for it for being late. We went a little longer.
I think we
normally.
had a fun time.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I had a fun time.
And I'm just saying, when you say you're gonna be somewhere, just how long have you lived in Southern California?
a long time. But the thing is,
But
you
there's
know,
always a but.
it's rough out here, man. It's rough. When was
I-
when was
Hey
the last
Tiff,
time
I
you?
show up to work, don't I? I come to work. You do. There we go. So
Wait,
there
from
it is.
where? From where?
That doesn't matter.
No. You give me the city.
Pomona. Bitch, I'm from Pomona.
That's 15 minutes away, motherfucker.
I will say that.
I live in the valley.
I live from Long Beach. I came here.
That's still not as bad as where I live.
Wait, you're in the valley?
I'm literally telling you guys I left at 3 fucking p.m. and you guys are giving me shit.
I don't believe that. I need tapes.
I left my fucking house at
believe
3
it.
p.m.
I don't believe it.
I will never believe
And you guys
this.
are giving me shit because I wanted to eat food and drink a fucking beer.
Look, he's had it.
A beer. We're getting air quotes on a beer. Two
All right,
beers. 2 beers.
All right, but
What I
thank
want to
you.
know though is, can I trade in the time that you were late for net play practice time?
Absolutely. No, I'm down to play net play. I actually
Just
love
I
playing
just
net
want
play.
the one and what was it like? However long the clock was, I'll just run that back,
Absolutely.
and
yeah,
I can
I'm
waste
down.
your time on net
No,
play.
yeah, no, I'm down. No, you actually wouldn't waste my time. I play against a lot of
You play a
lesser players.
lot of
and-
unwashed.
no. Actually, I
Lot of
think net
unwashed
play is really
plebeians.
good, and I'm super down to play. Yeah,
I've seen the Smurf.
yeah, I got my Smurf.
Really?
It's the easiest Smurf in the world to figure out. So I don't.
Okay.
This shouldn't even.
You
count.
just
Yeah.
only play
You-
Samus.
you don't have to
There's
say it.
literally a guy that plays 100% Samus, has like a near undefeated record. It was undefeated. And
Lost to Sokka a
lives
few
in
times.
Los Angeles.
Lost to Sokka if you.
Yeah.
No. I
Sokka's
lost
a
to
net play
one
legend.
guy.
Yeah,
I
Sokka
lost
gets
to one
mango
guy in
time.
the Midwest who I met him at Full Bloom. He had no idea it was actually me. So he just hit me with the GGs, like an honest GGs, like GGs, dude. And it was my first loss. I was like, you motherfucker. This internet was lagging, you piece of shit.
Wait, can you make a Smurf?
It's a one-loss account.
It's a one-loss account.
Can
You
make
didn't
a
lose. You didn't
100%
lose to
Samus
Russian
in
roulette.
Southern California. It's like
You
very.
didn't lose to Russian roulette at all.
No.
Can you make
Not this season. at
Not
least.
this season.
No, actually, I've never lost him. I've only played him in friendlies.
Can you make a net play account called the Real Slime 09? Because someone has been impersonating me on
I
net
could.
play.
And you're just gonna play Samus?
Yeah, I'm just Samus main now.
Okay, yeah, we could do
I
that.
saw Zan Frank talk to Billy Smurf and said, "Oh, I go
Wait.
by Billy."
Who is
Zan Frank?
Who is Zan
okay,
Frank?
so I thought it was Billy because Zan
Billy Bo
Frank.
Peep?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Zan
Billy's in the
Frank
chat.
tells everyone that it's Billy, and he tweeted out today on his netplay Smurf like, "Hey, what's your tag in real life?" And Zan Frank said it was Billy to Billy.
Two Billy.
Two Billy.
That's how.
Billy.
That's
Dude,
so
he
bad.
knows him. He knows Billy. It's
No,
probably
no,
like
he
fucking
knew.
grape.
He knew.
Dude,
You
it's
think
grape.
it's grape?
I bet it's
What
grape.
character is it?
It's Fox.
Fox.
It's
all
great.
Fox.
It's Zan.
I think it's great.
100%.
It's gotta be great.
Or, I don't know. I don't know who else would be. Are they
gotta-
good?
Because he also used the tag Chroma 69, but it's not Chroma.
The
Yeah.
real Chroma 09.
There's like
There's
8
a lot of
chromas.
real Chroma
Yeah.
09s.
Poor Jake.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But my Smurf is the easiest.
He
one
says
to
everyone
figure
says it's too good to be grape, and Hulka says
out. Someone
it's not
called
grape.
me Daryl from SoCal. They're like, "You're Daryl, right?" No,
Dude, what happened to Daryl?
he's just chilling. I just think he's
He
over
like
it.
works military or something?
Yeah,
Because I saw him
but
at Red
the
Bull.
thing, I respect his retirement. I don't respect a lot of other people's retirement.
He didn't make a big like. I didn't know what happened to him.
But
so.
I respect his retirement. He just is not feeling it.
Soft
So he just
retirement.
Do you feel like a lot of people force feeling it?
No, other people are just scared. That's why they retired. I think that Daryl's not scared. He's just not feeling it.
Maybe if he
What do
played
you mean?
a faster
Scared
guy.
of competition?
They have big enough egos where they don't like losing, and so they're just scared of losing, and that's why they retire. And I can totally tell. Daryl's not one of those players.
Name one.
Asden. I don't think he likes the idea of losing. That's why.
No, well, I mean, he went a long time
He
ago.
like
though.
because he tried to play again, and then what happened to that? He wasn't winning like he was. And then he
Yeah, but I
stopped.
mean, all of the old school players, it's kind of a bit more understandable. Do you feel like PC Chris and stuff when they
no, I
came
don't
back
think
got
it's
washed? and
I'm
then
literally there. I don't think
Yeah, but
think it's understandable.
it feels like he
because I'm
never
doing
really
it.
left.
I'm doing it. They're just not okay with losing.
Yeah,
That's what I think it is. That's why I respect people like Captain Jack.
I
'cause
was so
he's-
bored in on the
he's
PC
like
hype,
Captain
dude.
Jack is losing, but he's still trying to be like he told me at Friday Night Turnip. I'm like, so what are your goals of coming back? I literally talk to old school players and I test them because I know a lot of them are full of shit. Like, yeah, I want to come back. I'm like, bitch, you want to come back until you start losing, and then you don't actually want to come back because you can't.
They want to
deal
come
with
back
losing.
to like the new
They want
Twitch
to come
era.
back to what they were before,
Yeah,
and they think it's going to be easy. So I asked them.
they
I'm
think
like,
it's gonna be easy.
They think it's going to be this. Like they don't think
They
that
think it's
going to
be
as hard.
07 again.
Yeah,
Have they,
think
watched
they,
the new
they
videos?
think if they just try, they're going to be there, but they're not.
They don't
And
hold down, dude.
That's
They
literally what
don't
they think. And so, like, I talked to Captain Jack. I'm like, what are your goals in this game? And he tells me, I want to be number one. And then I say, how are you going to do that? And he says, I'm going to learn from the best. And, like, he'll say shit like that. I'm like, this guy really means it. And he's sitting there, and he tells me he wants to play with me. And, like, I'll beat him over and over and over again, and he'll keep saying, okay, now I'm going to win. And he doesn't win, and he says it. Okay, now I'm going to win. He doesn't say it. Doesn't win. Now I'm going to win.
Who's he playing as?
And then eventually he wins a match or something. Sheik. But he like really wants to do it, and I could tell that he's serious about it. Whereas other players, I know they're not serious about it. They're just full of shit and they have egos. And
I wanted PC Chris to come back so bad, man.
I
Remember
think
that?
I respect PC Chris's retirement. I don't think he was just getting washed. I just don't think he's into it.
But there was a period where Chillin was like getting him set up. He had a
Yeah.
computer. He said he was coming back.
Yeah,
I was sipping the Kool-Aid
that motherfucker
by
got
the gulps.
17th at Apex. I don't think he was scared. He did fine. He just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'm not saying he was scared. I'm just saying I really wanted him
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
Ken has had a few tries.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ken's a little bit of a mix, to be honest.
Partly over it, partly bits.
Partly over it, partly just ego. That's
It's
my
hard.
guess.
It's hard to go back to the bottom.
Everyone says it's Mike.
And I only
Zan
s-
Frank is Mike.
Mike Hayes? I could actually see that. Because he directly challenged me.
Also, Fendi says he didn't get 17th. He got 65th.
Did he?
Yeah. You know what? It's a bad look when we're just reading the chat responding. So we are gonna wrap it up for
I don't
real
think
this
that's
time.
true. Fuck that. I'm calling it out. I don't think that's true.
You heard it here first. Fuck Fendrick Lamar.
I don't think that's true.
It's not the
He
first
beat-
time we've said
he
that.
beat-
It's not.
He beat Raffle to advance, and I don't think Raffle got 97th. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But for real now, thank you for coming on,
Everyone's
Hugs. It was nice times. If you have anything you want to say right now, go for it.
Oh, Did I
Kill
not
the stream,
shill-
actually?
Did I not
Just-
shill?
Just
for
go ahead and just
I'm-
go ahead.
I've opted in for Summit, and I am campaigning over the week.
Who cares?
And I
What
think
are your
I'd be a great
policies?
candidate, huh?
What are your policies?
My
if
policies.
elected?
Yeah. What are your
My policies,
platforms?
my platforms are that I'm top 15 in the fucking world right now. My platform is that I am a great
You're top 15 right now.
personality. Fuck yeah,
That's
I am.
crazy,
Name
dude.
15 that aren't me. Do it. I feel like I'm an entertaining personality that could be.
I wasn't
on the
questioning
couch
it. I was
and
just
all
saying
that.
that's sick.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. And I run a stream, and my stream's not going to end as soon as Summit's over. I'm not going to fucking disappear as soon as Summit's over.
Yeah.
And I think I've been doing really well lately, so I have a good case for being there right now.
But I like
Um,
Army.
I think Army should be there too, to be honest. If I were to name, honestly, if I were to name 6 that should be there, I think it should be me, Zane, Amsa, Toussaint, Ginger, and Army.
I like that you didn't say
Would be my
Crush, and he's
6.
definitely going.
No, he
So-
hasn't opted in. So if he opts in, then he's gonna.
I
end
just
up
saw
being there.
smoke come out of
Yeah.
Miles's head.
No, and
like
if he
tea kettle.
and if he does opt in, then he would also deserve it because I think he's been doing great.
He didn't opt in.
No, he has not
Crush,
opted in. But
If
he
you're
could.
watching this, somebody send this video to Crush.
Please no, don't tell him to opt in. I'd rather.
I
he
want
not.
you to opt in, Crush.
I'd rather.
And I
he
want you to
not.
play.
He might be too cool for it. I don't know.
You're my boy, Blue.
All right.
But
So
yeah.
press the button that says sorry. Thank
Is
you.
there actually a sorry button?
And then then yeah, look. And that's it. Goodbye forever.